Make some noise. We're back. Oh my God, guys. We are back for another episode of The Recap. I know there's been a great big massive gap in episodes. We're so sorry. The girlies and I, we've just been busy. Schedules, diaries, all of that. But wait no longer. We are here and we're back to cover everything. We're going to talk about everything that has happened since we last left, and so much has happened, right? So before we crack on, I'm not even going to waste time with this chat. Let's get into it because we've got way too much to talk about. So obviously we're going to introduce ourselves. It's your girl, just call me Audrey.
It's Isa,
Feven.
And we're joined by a very, very special guest, our sister in reality TV love, fellow podcasting queen, Tammy from the Uncut Podcast. We're so happy to have you on.
I'm so happy to be here because obviously I love my friends who I do the podcast with, but they are not in.
Same.
They're not in with the reality. So I feel like sometimes I'm talking to a wall because they don't know. They're like, oh, I thought that. No, I'm talking about Salt Lake.
Exactly. I feel exactly the same. Tolly doesn't really watch reality TV, so I can't really get into it unless like something major happens. So I love that we've got like each other and we've got this space to just unpack it, and the people them love it. So let's get into it. And I think the only place to start, the only place that makes sense, guys, Potomac is back. And unfortunately, I wish that we were talking under better circumstances, but we cannot discuss Potomac without addressing the great big fat neon elephant in the room, Wendy, Dr. Wendy Asefo.
and Happy Eddie. Happy Eddie looked happy in that mugshot.
He really did. They were high on their own supply.
Yeah.
I thought it was AI.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that was AI.
Yeah.
Do you know what? At first, I thought this can't be real because they look so happy. It's almost like a smugness of like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
But after reading the charges and everything about the investigation, I honestly don't know how they're getting out of this one. And it's just kind of sad because Wendy was such a great figure of like someone on Housewives that you can really actually look up to in terms of education, poise, women, family, motherhood, and fraud.
Insurance
Of all
fraud.
things.
Of all things, Wendy.
What did you think when you first saw it, Feven?
So obviously I was in Kenya, disconnected. I was like touching elephants, feeding giraffes, come back, connect to Wi-Fi. And I've just got messages, DMs, and I just see this picture and I'm like, oh, this is AI. Like I legit thought it was AI.
I messaged you saying, wake up.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
like
wake
delivered
up.
hours later. I was like, wait, what's going on? And when I read it, I was like, no way. This is like, for someone that bangs on about education, being so smart, how can you be so freaking stupid? Like if you're gonna do insurance fraud or scam, you put it in writing. You've emailed the man that you share a bed with rather than just like
talking.
Go downstairs in the kitchen.
Yeah. Or even just getting a burner. No, you don't even need a burner. I just think it's stupid. I think it's a case of she's so smart but not street smart. But also, why would you even put yourself in that position? And I kind of blame reality TV, the pressure, her mother kind of low key, like the pressure from family. She's probably supporting a lot of people, black tax, and they're probably really broke. They are broke.
Tammy?
I was devastated. As a Nigerian myself, I understand that there is pressure from your family and stuff, but there's not that much pressure. I'm sorry.
I feel like the pressure was more to get the education, which she's got.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, what other pressure is there? You're doing so well. You're doing so well in your job. You're on the show. Happy Eddie. Apparently he's an attorney. I don't know about that anymore. But I was flabbergasted. Like I have a Bravo group chat where we all just talk about all Bravo stuff. Sent the TMZ thing. I said no. This has to be a dream. I need to wake up immediately. Like I don't know what it is. Wendy's not my fave, but you know those ones you kind of like. You're on her side because you want to root for her because of all the stuff that she had been through. So it's kind of like when I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, like it felt like a blow to the chest. I was like, this cannot be happening. And reading all the charges, and I'm just like you said, you're sharing a bed with a man that you're plotting and scheming with, and you're sending an email saying, oh, should we add the Chanel to the thing? And I'm like, to get the maximum 400, I think it was like 423K. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like I expected so much more of Wendy, but as Housewives, like the amount of people that go to jail now, it's just like, it seems that you have to be a felon to be a
They should
housewife.
definitely have a new franchise of like
Prison Wives.
Yeah, Prison Wives, because it is getting insane.
Yeah.
It is.
I do hope, I mean, I wish her the best and I hope it's not true. And even if it's true, I kind of slightly hope that, you know, she buff case. I do. I don't like that her enemies are conjuring up together. But the whole situation is just insane. Like you said, like emailing your husband or your husband emailing you as a lawyer as well is insane. I think as well, like in America, they take insurance fraud really seriously, right? And you have to go through all these steps and to contact 3 companies. Like there is literally a database, like I know, because I've heard of this, but I don't know if this is fact, but there is literally database, like all the things that you submit, like all these insurance companies have this database.
Like a one,
they have to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it's almost like insurance companies don't like paying out money. They don't like paying out money. They are going to do their due diligence, especially with that amount. You're claiming designers, you're claiming jewelry, diamonds. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot, and it got to the point where is this greed? Well, obviously it's greed because it's fraud, but are you that greedy that you have to do it times 3? You know, if it's like, I don't know, Wendy has her 4 degrees. I can understand that paying those education loans or whatever could be very expensive. Keeping up with image and your surgeries and whatever, and being on a level with all these other women on the show could be very expensive. Do you know what I mean? Sending money back home and giving your mum allowance, it could be very expensive. Having 2 children in a place where you have you have to pay for their education as well, and you know it can be very expensive. So I'm not sure if it's a thing where over time, from having all these degrees and being in school and everything is just racking up, like all these debts are racking up, and you are so overwhelmed that you need a little boost of cash and all the pressures. But at the same point, it was like, this is looking like serious desperation. 3 insurance companies.
Do you know what it is though? Everyone keeps banging on about her education and like the student loan stuff, but I feel like, would she not have paid that off by now? I feel like it's kind of null and void. The student, I've seen those takes on TikTok, so I'm kind of like, by now she would have at least paid it off given how much she was earning. I feel like it's keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up like the designers, the bags. I don't know. And this is the thing. Oh my gosh, guys, when I watched the first episode and she's talking about redecorating the house. I
Marble all the way to the ceiling.
It's actually cringe
and
now.
expanding the business. And I was like, also Eddie, was he a practicing lawyer?
Well, we've never seen him ever come home and be like, oh, that was a really hard case today. Do you know what I mean? Like, has he ever done that since they started? Like, you know?
Well, there's no clips of him with like, you know how Phaedra was like with Bobby Brown?
Never him in the firm or anything like that. But the thing is, I feel like it's in hindsight that we can look back and acknowledge that stuff. That, you know, we're trying to like unpack it all. I think that we should discuss, because there'll be people that are listening for different things and they may not be familiar with Potomac. So I think that we should go through what some of the actual charges are. So it's, you know, it's been alleged that it is insurance fraud, right? So basically what Dr. Wendy, because I'm still going to use her title until further notice, you know? We've still got to put respect on her name until she's innocent, until proven guilty. So Dr. Wendy and her husband, who is an attorney, they've been accused of insurance fraud. So what they were doing is they were buying really high value items, bags, jewelry, and they'd returned a lot of these items, reclaimed the money, and then they'd also put them in for an insurance claim. So there was also this alleged burglary that she talked about on the show, that her and her family were away in Jamaica, and that they were, in America they say burglarized. Did we say that here? They always say that. Yeah, we just say robbed. And they were burglarized whilst they were on this family holiday, but suspicion started to rise because there was absolutely no sign of breaking or entry. Not a shattered window, not a bit of glass, not a broken door handle. There was no sign of forced entry. There was nothing. So
and it was a second floor window, wasn't it? And there was like no like debris on the toilet.
Like apparently in order to even get that, you'd have to step on a toilet or something like that to get. There was, I think the police like reenacted it and saw that there was actually debris when you actually were to do it. And then apparently they had there was no activity on the Ring camera.
Oh yeah.
They have ADT, which is like an alarm system.
Yeah.
Apparently it's really good.
Yeah.
Like people raving about it. So I don't understand how that didn't go off. It just seemed like a scheme that Todd set up.
I think so too. So yeah, so those are some of the charges, and it's a shame because, as you all said, like Wendy, I think on Potomac, she probably is up there with one of my favorites. I think she's one of those housewives that she may not necessarily be the most likable, but she has a lot of great qualities. Yeah. And I also think that she's never wrong.
Yeah, she's not.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I feel like as it stands, she's always been on the right side of history. So even if you maybe think she's a bit elitist or whatever, you can acknowledge the fact that she stands on business. Like she's always on the right side of history. Like I've always liked the way she's carried herself on the show, the way she handles situations. She's not snaky and two-faced like a lot of the other girls, a lot of the other women. So yeah, I think she's had a really, really good reputation. She's definitely been done dirty her whole time. I think she's been a victim of colorism on that show.
Yeah, 100%.
She's been assaulted by Mia the Liar, all sorts. So she's really been through it. So when I saw the news, everybody, because obviously we're all Housewives people, so we probably all got the same sort of people like sending us stuff and like the Housewives and Bravo's fear was going insane that day. It dropped. It
was like the Karen Huger day.
It was like the Karen Huger day.
This time I was unavailable.
Exactly.
Last time you were unavailable.
Exactly. And I was just like, no, I've got to do a space.
Yeah.
We've got to do a space. We've got to put on an emergency space, which is usually what Feven and I do when something mad happens. And so we did the space and everybody gathered and we all talked about it. And I feel like everybody just feels the same way. One of my takes is that, look, at the end of the day, currently it's all very mad. Also, Carroll County, you fucking raggedy bitches.
Oh.
You raggedy bitches, because they did a press conference on Facebook. I'm sorry, I know that
I saw that.
Not much probably goes down in Carroll County.
Yeah.
But a press conference for some insurance fraud is a bit mad.
Yeah.
Like, that was very mad. I mean, I get it. Like, we're talking about a celebrity or what have you. But I don't know. The jury's still out, quite literally. I'm praying and I'm hoping to God that this is just one big, huge misunderstanding. The Asefos, the only statement they've put out is that they're looking forward to their day in court. And I feel like when people say that, that means that they've got some receipts, hopefully, that can clear their name. Yeah. But it's not looking good, is it?
No, unless also highlight these are some serious charges. I think felonies. She has was it 16?
She's got more than him.
And each of those charges is a minimum of 10 years. So even if she was found guilty on just one, this is going to be a very long time in Housewife universe. This is longer than Teresa, and I think Teresa's probably done the longest.
Yeah, she's done
Hasn't Jen Shah done the longest?
Jen Shah, Jen Shah. Oh, forget about Jen Shah.
She's out in 300 days.
This is serious.
300.
Yeah, I heard she's out next year.
Yeah.
It keeps getting reduced.
Good behavior in that.
So this is some serious charges, and the police, they're really trying to look for their little limelight.
They really are.
They're reminding the public insurance fraud is not a victimless crime. Yeah. So they're really trying to, and the neighbor, did you hear about the neighbors?
Yeah.
So basically when this happened, there was a lot of signs put on neighbors' doors, the Asefos house got burglarized. And apparently this has never happened before in that community.
I heard
and
that,
they were coming forward saying this is definitely insurance fraud.
An inside job.
Yeah, they just did not believe it at all. So mixed with the neighbours, snitching and everything else, it doesn't look good, bruv. Doesn't look good, bruv.
So messy.
Oh, she was talking, Tamara.
Yeah, because she's got a podcast with what's her name? Teddy from
Teddy. Yeah.
Apparently one of the neighbours DM'd Tamra.
Of course they did.
To tell her that what you said, basically they think it's all a lie. The robbery never happened.
Yeah.
So it's not lost on me that there clearly is some sort of Housewives to prison pipeline
100%
going on. And I think in order to even unpack it, we need to talk about all the criminal offences that have happened in the Housewives universe, right? So I think the famous and probably one of the first ones was the same sort of thing with the Judices on Jersey. I remember when that was going down, I didn't watch New Jersey.
Same.
And I just always used to see this woman with a really low hairline on the blogs, and I was just like, who is this lady with the small forehead? She's everywhere, and she's got this really full black hair and her short stubby husband. Who are these people? None of it ever made any sense until I went back and watched New Jersey, which is definitely one of my favorite franchises of all time. Anyway. So I think it started there, and so Teresa and Joe, they were sort of falsifying documents as well.
Yeah, mortgage fraud,
doing all sorts of like illegal activities, and in the end they got sentenced and they split the time, which is very kind of the system to let them do. So I think Teresa did like a year and then Joe did like 5 or something, and they were able to split the time.
And he got deported.
And then he got deported in the end. Yeah, he absolutely did. He got deported back to Italy, even though he'd been in the US since he was like a year old, and this is like a 50-year-old man. So they were not playing any games. And then the next thing that comes to mind, I don't watch every single franchise, so forgive me if I miss anything, but the next thing that does come to mind is Erica Jane.
Yeah.
And that whole thing with, I mean, she didn't do jail
It's
time.
her husband, yeah.
Let's not forget about Apollo before Erica.
Of course, before Erica Jane, there was Apollo.
Yeah.
There was Apollo. He did jail time for fraud as well, for something similar as well.
Yeah.
He was like scamming old people. Then our good sis Erica Jane and her husband Tom Girardi.
Yeah.
Then of course Jen Shah, who I think she'd been scamming from before her Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah, her whole thing was like a lie.
Her whole thing
She
from day
had
one.
fake designers, everything. She was borrowing her neighbor's car, driving to set. Everything about her was a lie.
She was scamming old people for their money, right?
Yeah,
hers was nasty.
Hers was bad.
Yeah.
But so was Erica's husband. Like,
he was like
plane crash
victims and fire arson victims, all sorts.
Yeah.
And then so then Jen Shah, and then now more recently, I hate that Wendy is along that list.
Karen?
Oh my God, how could I forget Karen the Hugo, the Grand Dame? Hello? Like, she's out now,
Yeah,
right?
she's out.
She went to jail for having 4 DUIs back to back.
Yeah.
Karen's one to me is a bit mad, which is what I don't understand, this whole narrative, right? Just going back to Dr. Wendy, of people being like, oh, Wendy's vindicated. Well, how the fuck is Wendy vindicated? What are you talking about? People keep on saying that.
But Wendy's
do you mean
vindicated.
Karen's
Karen's
vindicated?
Karen's vindicated. Yeah, my bad, sorry.
But this is what I don't get, because like all of the other housewives have been like the Potomac franchise, obviously. Oh, we've been knowing, like Ashley, for example.
Oh,
how would you have known about insurance fraud?
Yeah, she did not know.
Also, Peter Thomas.
Oh yes.
yeah.
I think he's in jail now.
Yeah.
He's in jail.
Yeah. Taxes,
Thomas.
right?
Yeah, he wasn't paying his staff
Yeah.
at Bar None.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, there's a lot of criminal activity.
I remember when
in
Sheree
that
was
world.
dating her
Yeah, I was
jailbird.
going to say Sheree and Tyrone.
Yeah.
You know, Sheree was doing prison visits.
Oh my God. And not to mention the other, like, there's probably other things that we don't even know of.
Oh, Shannon Bedore, she didn't go to jail, but she had got a DUI.
Yeah, she got DUI, but I think she got probation.
Probation
and stuff like that. Yeah,
There's a lot going on.
there's a lot of DUIs.
Which never makes any sense to me, because okay, granted, insurance fraud and stuff, people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you people definitely can afford Ubers.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely afford
service.
or a car service. Like, you can 100% afford that. So that will never ever make sense to me, why people are so adamant about getting in their cars. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. I saw this big thing, it was on Carlos King, and I spread some misinformation that Wendy'd resigned. And then when I actually sat and watched it, it was resigned from her post at the university.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, no way.
I didn't give a damn about that. Because I don't care about that. But what do you think life for her looks like on her return? She's gonna have to address it. They haven't shot the reunion yet.
Yeah.
So we've got all of that to come. Do you reckon she's gonna go into it, or do you reckon she's gonna be like, it's an open case, I can't talk about it, blah blah blah?
I think when it is an open case, you can't talk about it, because whatever you say will be used against you.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she will talk about it. I think Wendy is very smart in her choice of wordings and how she articulates herself anyway. I do hope that she is how she's always presented herself, where she tackles things head on. So she will go to the reunion and address whatever's going on the show, and it's not kind of like spotlighted so much on the case, because, you know, not going back to the, like, going into the episodes, there is a lot going on, you know, her friendships with you know, Kiana and things like that. So I think she is going to have a storyline to address. And I am hoping that if she does get locked up and she comes out, that she is welcomed back to the Bravo universe, as has her prison inmates peers.
I just got a visual of Wendy in jail. I cannot process it.
I don't want that for her and the kids.
Yeah.
But don't you think though, when something mad like this happens in real time and we're watching a show that's been pre-shot, it kind of just like, do you know what
like
I mean?
her tagline is redundant now, but also you know how they do the after show for London and whatnot and Miami? They're filming that apparently for Potomac. So it's like going to be interesting to see if Wendy...
I don't think she's doing it.
She's not doing it at all.
Because I think she was meant to do it with Stacey, and I think Stacey's by herself. I don't think, I personally don't think that Wendy might come to the reunion. I don't think she might.
But then she's getting sacked then. Like that's it for her. I mean, she's going to jail anyways, but like there's no like redemption on Bravo for her if she doesn't rock up to the reunion.
Not really. Karen didn't go and she's...
But she did a video. Or maybe Wendy was
I feel like she might not go. And obviously Bravo coming up next month in November. I don't think she's going to go to that because
I think she might be in hiding. I just hope she doesn't, but
she
might be hiding. It's a lot. The thing is, the charges are crazy and everyone is on a Wendy hate train now anyway. So I can only imagine, like, even just mentally, like, it's a lot to just have that wrong and strong attitude and just be on camera and, like, not give a fuck. Because whatever you do, it's like, if you hide, it's like you're hiding from it. If you're coming on camera, like, this person's delusional, like, these charges, and you're just acting like nothing is going on. So
the only thing I was going to say, though, because her wife swap episode got pulled, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Who pulled it, Bravo or Wendy's lawyers?
I think probably everyone.
I think both, right? Because the jury's probably on that episode.
Yeah.
The
evidence used as evidence.
They might be wearing the things that they said that they...
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, Bravo pulled it. And it's like, no, Bravo would want to air that to get the ratings, to get people, because she's like hot topic right now. Yeah. And I was like, no, I think her lawyers are like, shut this shit down right
definitely.
now.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got an open case, I guess you can't, all of the, like...
It's incriminating.
It's all incriminating, exactly. So... Oh, child, I don't know.
Should we touch on a little bit on the episode so far?
Yeah, because what's happened so far? So we've got Stacey. Let's start with Stacey.
I love Stacey.
She's another delusional one.
Yeah. So delusional. I keep saying, and I will repeat myself, the ones who are so like delusional in the bubble, the logic doesn't make sense, are TV gold. They're my favorite.
Housewives.
They make
fragrant
great
liars.
housewives.
Yeah. Stacey's something else. I do feel a bit sorry for her though. Like, okay, clearly she paid I mean, come on. Do you know what I mean? And I don't understand why she's dying on the hill. And she's kind of like changed her story a little bit. It's, she's moving the goalpost a little bit. Clearly there was some sort of like transactional situation
100%.
going on with him. And I think she just is trying to stand on business. Whether she actually got divorced or not, I think like there's no reason to lie about it.
But they have the receipts came forward and said
she was divorced. So she didn't lie about that.
So why didn't she just pull out the receipts?
Also, why is it Ashley's business?
Very good game.
Ashley's annoying.
Why is it your business? Like you took however many years to divorce that predator.
She's not in any position to talk about long divorces or short divorces.
Do you remember that Ashley?
I think Stacey.
Yeah, me and Feven went to the Ashley Bravo brunch. Was it last year? The questions she asked the most shadiest questions. Like,
she told me.
I think you said something about like
we don't care about GNA.
Yeah, we don't care about GNA. And then also you were like, why don't you just step into your villain role? Like, you're the type of person that will be made, oh no, I'm just asking questions. But it's just like, no, be the villain that you want to be and step into it. And I think more people would appreciate her as a housewife if she was just truly a villain like she is. But she likes to present, oh, I'm just a girl. Like, no, you're actually evil. You've been evil since season 1. Like you've gone back and forth with every single person on the show. You are a villain. And I think what it is as well, I think, because obviously I watch a lot of people that are in the Bravo space and stuff like that. I think the producers love Ashley because she will do anything. Like she
do anything.
She has no dignity. Like she does the work for them. So she doesn't mind. Like she likes the fact that people keep talking about her. She like when she's singing the other day. Who wants to go and hear Ashley sing?
Not me.
So I don't know why she's still doing it. But then she had to make a comment about Wendy because she wants the story to keep being about her and things like that. The stuff with Michael.
She didn't never address Michael touching the thing though.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I said I was like Ashley sharp. Like your husband was touching people on set, and now you're saying, we always knew that about Wendy.
This shit, we're catching melodies, not felonies.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
is that what she said?
Yeah, shut down the mic and stop doing Botox because it don't look good.
So her new target is Stacey, but I think Stacey knows what she's doing and she's playing the game very well. Like she knows she's rattling these girls. And she just doesn't care. Like, she just doesn't care. Like, she's just going to show up. They're going to come for her. And she's going to address it in the way that she feels to address it in that moment. And still, like, kiki with you after it. Do you know what I mean? So, if she's lying, personally, I don't care. Continue to lie on my TV. Continue to like, go by how you want to go. You want to be with this, you want to have a lavender fake relationship on TV one season and go back to your ex-husband the next season. I'm all here for whatever, Stacey. You want to be eating the mint and then doing, was it Queen?
Was it Dragon Breath?
Goddess Breath. After, do whatever you're doing. I don't think she is doing anything wrong for me. I absolutely love Stacey. I think she's hilarious. She's super entertaining. And I kind of even like the little scene with her and her ex-husband.
Like, I like that as well.
I loved it.
I love that that's a storyline. Like, good for her. You know, I don't doubt for one second that they were separated. Like, I don't doubt that. And now it's been proven that they were actually divorced. Cool. But like, I just didn't even understand why Ashley was so like pressed about it. Like, what the hell is it to you? And like, I agree with everything you were saying about Ashley, Tammy. I do think she is a villain. I really, really dislike her, which is why I didn't go to that thing because I was just like, I don't like her. I had
to go just to see.
I wish I did though. I wish I did
just to see like
I wish I did.
You would have loved it, Audrey.
Because I think she is a nice person, but I genuinely think that she just loves the show so much, so that she's willing to just to do anything. That's why I don't think she will ever get fired from the show, because the producers love people like that will keep the story going, keep pressing, you know, have the storyline running from from episode 1 until the reunion and stuff like that. So that's why I was just like, let me just go just to see how she is in person. And she and the shady questions that people were asking, she took it on the chin and she answered.
I feel like she does lean into it, which is what I can respect about Ashley.
Yeah.
Do you know what
I just want her to
lean into it,
like be like Kenya and be like because that's why Kenya has a huge following of like people that actually really like her, because they like
she stands in it.
So that's how it is.
Yeah. But that's the thing with Stacey, right? I feel like I love her as a housewife. Yep, she's delusional, but I think she's never going to be real. She's so heavily media trained that we're just getting this one one-dimensional version of her. Like it's all kind of like she's never rattled. Because she's so. I
think we should give her a couple of seasons. I feel like the masks. It's gonna slip. Like it happens to everybody. You come on, like it happened to Wendy. Like you come, I got 4 degrees. Now you're in jail. You're potentially going to jail. So it's kind of like, I think give Stacey maybe like another 2 seasons. And we'll probably start to see the real her.
But I don't understand why Giselle is also pressed about her relationships, because Giselle's get back with Pastor Toby was also...
Isn't his name Pastor... What's his name? His name was not Pastor Toby.
Pastor Holyhall. Isn't it Pastor Holyhall?
When Giselle got back with Pastor Toby.
Isn't it Pastor Holyhall? Jamal.
Pastor Toby is someone though.
Like,
just not
I hope it's not Pastor Toby.
Pastor Toby's not Respect Nation, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, I know there is a Pastor Toby, but I don't think that's Giselle's
reconnection was also, brought to be fake as well.
Yeah. So, no, but do you know what it is? I think that I think that people like Ashley and Giselle, there are some housewives that are very much coasting. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like Giselle was a housewife that coasts. Like I feel like the last season was probably the most I've liked her, but I think it's because she wasn't really doing too much. Do you know
but
what
she has no storyline.
She's only had a storyline once, and that was with Pastor Toby.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it was with Sherman.
Oh, Sherman.
Remember? Yeah. That's the reason why Giselle has never brought anybody a man back, other than her children's father.
Yeah.
Monique went in there and spoke to the Sherman's ex-wife and that wanted to be like a whole thing. And then Giselle was like, absolutely not. Like, we're cutting, like, there's no more Sherman.
Was that the Binder season? Was that Binder season?
No. Binder season was Jamal. But Sherman was like, I think maybe... Monique's second season. I think I can't remember what season, maybe season 3 or something, I can't remember. But when that whole Sherman thing happened, Giselle was like, absolutely not, like we're not doing love interest
again. That's why
again.
I think Giselle needs to be friend off now.
I
think she should be. She brings friend off vibes. She has no storyline. She has some funny contributions here and there, like she stirs the pot and that is about it. I don't understand why.
But I always say that whether you're a friend of or whatever depends on how much Andy likes you. We all know Andy has his favourites. Giselle is obviously his favourite. She's always on Watch What Happens Live. I feel like there are some housewives that don't get a look in on that show, and I see the same housewives all the time. She might as well be a co-host on there at this point. But she has no storyline, and she's kind of just coasting along, ad-libbing, and just kind of like chiming in here or there on other people's big storylines and kind of attaching herself. But I will say, like, Giselle and Ashley, one thing about them is they do move a storyline along. Like, I will, you know, they're like, next scene, please. Like, but yeah, I think that she very much learned her lesson from that situation, which is why she's kind of held back and leaned into her kids. And I'll keep on saying it. I'll die on this hill. I don't care about your kids. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't care about I don't care about them learning how to drive.
I knew you were going to say that. That was like the next thing I was going to say.
Their driving lessons and I don't give a heck.
The thing is
I don't care about them going to college. I don't care.
The kids are not around anymore, and she's literally having scenes of her walking around her house,
talking to herself.
Like, it's just demote her now, friend of. But speaking of new friends, what do we think about the new cast members?
The jury's still out on those
Tia and
Angel.
Yeah, and
I like them
kind of now.
Really?
I like them. I like Tia.
Kiana, is she a full-time housewife?
She's a full-time housewife.
Wait, what did you say?
I said I like the new girls. I like Tia. The British one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I want to see it.
But guys, her accent. What are we thinking?
Well, you don't think it's real?
Shit, is it not exaggerated?
I don't think so. I think it always sounds exaggerated when your mum's American.
I don't know. I feel like she adds a bit of like extra Britishness on top of it.
Do you think?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm not mad at them so far, thus far. Kiana now, I think she's definitely trying to secure a moment. Because she was friend of last season, right?
Yeah, she's a full-time housewife now,
She's a full-time housewife.
No, I think she was friend of the season.
She had a Mahira. No, not a Mahira, sorry.
She had a flute last. Did she have a flute last?
She was
but she then got demoted.
No, she was a friend of first.
And then housewife.
Oh, you're right. She was a friend of, and then she was housewife.
And then now she's another housewife again this
she's housewife. And I think she is really trying to hold on to a moment right now.
Her flute was like a sympathy flute.
Yeah.
For the fight.
100%.
There's absolutely no way 100%. That what she if that fight did not happen, she would not be on. She would not be
deserving of no damn flute.
Yeah.
Because it's because Ashley's friend that scarred her head.
Deborah.
Yeah.
Lord, that was
that was so messy. But you know what it is with Kiana, yeah? Her storyline went down after like we saw Greg Sandals. Remember his feet?
Yeah.
After that, there was like it was done, dusted, finito. Like there's no other storyline.
She didn't have much. He's not willing to like film and all these things, and she didn't really have much. And I think her plan of action this time round is to focus on her friendships rather than focus on her relationship. I think a lot of the time when the housewives come in, they want to show that they're actually a wife or they're going to be a wife and this is my life, this is my relationship. And unfortunately for her partner is not willing to give any more of that, of that. And so she didn't really have space for anything else. This time round, it's like, what's plan of action? And plan of action is I have to focus. I don't have any other storyline. So I have to focus on my relationships. And I think she's coming in a little bit hard, a bit too, she wasn't this opinionated and vocal.
Yeah.
And, I think it's coming across like doing too much.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what I think it is? I think she's had very long phone calls with Karen from prison and Karen's indoctrinated her and kind of got her on this like anti-Wendy brigade thing. And now she's finally like, oh, do you know what? I don't have a storyline. Karen's like brainwashed me while those jail calls have been very long. She's probably writing her letters as well. And now she's coming after Wendy. And it's perfect timing when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I like Kiana. I'm not mad at her. I still feel a bit indifferent to her. I think she's gorgeous. Like I think, but you know what? She gives me spoiled princess vibes. And that was like cemented when her mum came on. Like, you've got those girls that their mums have told them that the prettiest girl. And everyone's jealous of you.
Yeah.
Like, she gives me those kind of vibes that her mum has raised her to be like, no, you're a queen, you're a princess, and everyone's jealous of you. And if someone doesn't like you, it's because they're jealous. Like she gives me that, which I'm not necessarily mad at.
Yeah.
That whole thing with Wendy, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like she was gaslit. I felt like Wendy did gaslight her. Yeah, because sometimes, and then all of this stuff happened, and I was like, like she was definitely gaslit in that moment, because I think that sometimes everything can't necessarily, and Wendy, I feel like she's a very logical person. So if you don't come with logic and facts and receipts, then she can't necessarily like, she's not going to necessarily identify with like what you're trying to say. I feel like what Kiana was trying to say was more of a feeling thing.
Yeah.
And obviously we have that history of Wendy being a little bit snooty, a little bit aloof and pompous or whatever. So it's not exactly hard to believe. I know that she felt a type of way about that whole situation. And I know that Wendy understood what she was saying. But because Wendy's so articulate and she was able to like, there was almost no comeback, and I felt bad for Kiana in that moment.
Because Wendy's more intelligent. She's very articulate.
Exactly. Yeah. And her response, it was like, it did shut her down in a sense that like, yeah, but I wasn't trying to make it about me. I was just, it wasn't about me,
But she was on stage.
I think two things can be true though. I think Kiana did have a genuine feeling, and I think she's trying to amplify that feeling on the camera for a story. And I think Wendy's probably seeing that, because at the end of the day, if you're my friend and this happened off camera, I waved at you, you could have just said, hey, do you know what I mean? And Kiana is holding onto that and amplifying it, because even at your own event, you're bringing it up again when Wendy's not around. And, your other friend with logic, that's two people with logic, are saying, well, did you actually ask about the kids? And then now it's like, so I think both sides can be true. I think Wendy's probably realizing like, you have feeling, but right now I'm feeling attacked because this is something so small that probably could have been like a pass on conversation, and you're bringing it on camera across episodes.
Yeah, Wendy's probably feeling like, oh, like this is your story.
And I think that's what
you can see. She's just like, like I know what you're trying to do. Like that's how Wendy uses her logic against.
And that's her. One thing about Wendy, you can tell when that light goes off in her head.
She's like,
you can tell when she's like, okay, I see what's going on. And I think you're right. I think the two things can be true. I do think that like Wendy has that reputation of being aloof. So it's not far-fetched to believe that Kiana did feel those things, or, do you know what I mean? That those feelings were genuine. But then there is the added layer of like, you're bringing it on camera. They're going to have interactions
You're close to Karen.
Exactly, you're close to Karen. Like it is looking somehow.
And then obviously Kiana's got a new friend that she's brought onto the show. So it's kind of like, I think Wendy's just, in her mind, she's just thinking, oh, you're trying to do what these girls did to me a couple of seasons ago.
Exactly.
Try and ice me out and stuff like that. Like Kiana's definitely trying to secure her place for next season and probably the seasons to come, but I think she's going about it the wrong way. I would now, knowing the stuff about Wendy, maybe this point doesn't make sense, but when I was watching in the moment, I was like, I think you should keep Wendy in your corner because you never know how these girls are going to turn. You're not that cool with Ashley.
Exactly.
Like I know you're still harboring feelings about being smashed in the head with a glass with Ashley. Like you don't have, like, Karen's gone. Like you don't have, like, and then you're going at it with Stacey. Like, but you're trying to be in with Giselle and Ashley. It's just like, it's going to backfire.
That was the backfire. You're 100% right, because that was a very small example of what could be. You're trying to be like Giselle's little lapdog and talk about you chin checked your friend that you brought on the show.
Exactly.
Did you not think Giselle's going to bring it up? Giselle is messy. And then you're denying it, and do you know what I mean? So it's like you're not. It's not looking good, bruv.
But Kiana deserved that. Sorry, like you doing all that background stuff, talking to Giselle, and then Giselle bringing it like to that's what happens.
Yeah,
she deserves it.
Exactly. You know what's going to happen. Yeah. What do you think about Angel low-key siding with Wendy?
I don't think she sided with her. She just said, "Did you ask about the kids?" Because you're bringing in this like issue with Wendy to light, but the first thing out of your mouth is she was on stage and she didn't acknowledge you or whatever it was, but you didn't ask about her kids. Like, in the grand scheme of things, does her waving even
I think people are getting bored of the storyline because you spoke about it with Wendy at the event. Then you spoke about it at your event that they didn't even air when you had something at your studio. I don't know what it is, her beauty thing, that didn't air. Then you've now brought it up again with Giselle when you're eating salad together. Then now it's being brought up again
on the bench.
Now it's been brought up again at Angel's thing. It's kind of like everyone's just like, what is like? I just feel like this is
why no one cares.
No one cares about it.
No
one cares.
Yeah. I think you guys are right. I think that this whole thing with Stacey's breath, I think that's bullying.
100%. Because wasn't there a thing on what happens live as well? They brought it on that too.
I don't like that. I don't know. That makes me feel very uncomfortable.
It's Mean Girl.
Yeah, that's so mean.
It is Mean Girl, and I don't think it's right. But it is it is Housewives, and I feel like that's the only thing that they can kind of
get
at her for.
Yeah,
okay, divorce, no divorce. What's his name? TJ, no TJ. Now it's kind of like, oh, this is something that we know is a fact. Yeah. Your breath does stink. So we have to, that's the only thing that we can actually concrete and, you know, go back and forth with you. But I do think it is Mean Girl. And I do feel sorry for her, but I don't think she cares.
No,
I don't think she cares.
She's too media trained to even care.
Exactly.
She has
such
zero
a robot.
emotions.
Like, she's even leaning into it. Like, that is mad. But I think because we haven't spoken about it at all, I think we should speak about Real Housewives of London.
Yeah.
Because I am so pleasantly surprised with Real Housewives of London. I was really in two minds about whether I was going to watch it or not. I was like, do you know what? I'm watching enough TV shows, blah, blah, blah. But then everybody started saying how good it is. And I cannot lie. If you're not watching London, go and watch it. It's bloody brilliant.
Really good. Really good.
I take back everything I said.
Oh, what did you say?
I literally was like, not interested. It's probably going to be boring. I don't really like British TV too much anyway. So I just don't think it really brings anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take it back. I love the show.
Yeah. I went to the Hey You Fest last year, and that's when they announced that they were doing it. But I don't think they had a cast at that point. I think they were just, and I was in two minds. I was like, it's either going to be really good or like really bad.
Yeah.
But I went into it with like a clear mind, and I was like, I'm just going to take it for what it is, and it isn't Bravo, it's actually Hey You, so but it's the same, you know, type of vibe and stuff. But I was pleasantly surprised with how good it's been, and how they're actually quite shady. Like I like, obviously British people, we can be quite reserved, and like our shade is like very subliminal and it's very like under the table. But like I was pleasantly surprised with the episodes so far.
100%, and that's the thing. It's like British people on TV, it's like you want to be in TV, you want to have that fame, but you're not willing to go down low. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to embarrass yourself. You don't want to have like all these dramas, and that's why a lot of the time, like reality TV here doesn't really work, because everyone's just kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. But they are going in, and let me tell you, I know Amanda is coming for Edgware and Paddington, but the way she comes in, she's from Tottenham. I don't care. Exactly. No, she's from Tottenham.
But that's why it's so. Can we just talk? So basically, on Real Housewives of London, I was like, when I first watched the first episode, I was like, no one's from freaking London bar Nessie. Like Australian, Karen Jamaica, Amanda's regional. Like they're not even from London. And like I think the reason why it's so messy and it's so unhinged is because they're not really from that like background.
But is anyone from London?
No,
everyone
like
here, we're all from like that. It's a perfect representation of what
I'm a
London
Londoner.
is.
I was born in London. But
I mean like background.
Background, but what I mean, they're transplants.
Yeah, okay, go on.
Like, do you get what I mean? They've kind of like lived on Australia, Jamaica, wherever. Yeah. So it's like, also when you look at that kind of class of people, they don't want to go on TV and act like that. So it's kind of, these are people that are married into money rather than actually born into it.
Got you.
So it's kind of like, this is perfect TV, so it's going to be messy. Panthea and Amanda, like for now, they're like up there. But Panthea, I'm not feeling like, I feel like it's hard, because we always talk about this, Audrey, the microaggressions and the shit that she's doing with Karen. I'm kind of like, I can't stand Panthea.
Yeah, same. And it's a shame because they are the two women of colour on the show. Yeah. And sometimes it does feel very loaded. I feel like sometimes Panthea, and I don't even think she does it consciously, but I think that she targets Karen because Karen's a black woman. Like
100%.
But I don't think it's a conscious thing in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I just think that she doesn't, but it's hard to say because she does have energy for the other women as well. I think actually, do you know what? I will say this. I definitely think that you can't isolate race from these conversations.
100%.
But I think that it's also kind of like a class thing. Like we know that Karen is the richest on there. Like Karen's husband is very, very rich. Like, yeah, she might be the wealthiest wife on there. And I think what you were saying is true about Britishness and how we're reserved and stuff like that. But also another layer is when you get kind of people, when you pluck them from obscurity. I hope it doesn't change as the seasons go on. Because every first season, no one gives a heck. They don't really know what they're getting it themselves into. They're kind of dipping their feet in. As they start to, and this is why I think like Housewives back in the day was so good because there was no fucking social media. So it was like, you would just have to wait to the next season to see what they get up to. Whereas now, you can't tell me that it doesn't impact them having people's, including
opinions,
like what we're doing here now, having people's opinions and socials and chiming in. But I mean, we do it on a show. These things are needed, but people in their comments like going for them personally, I think it does dampen and it does like
they readjust. They come back in a readjusted.
They come back trying to be performative almost, or like
Julia,
to what the audience want. And so London is brilliant at the moment because it has that first season like hunger where no one gives a heck. Everybody's just trying to sort of like, it's very hierarchical. Everyone's trying to be like the
and they want the show to do well.
They want the show to do well. I just hope it doesn't change as the seasons go on.
Like Dubai.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I love it. So like the reads are just insane. Amanda is, okay, let's talk about Amanda because she's obviously a pivotal character, her and Panthea, and I want to talk about Panthea a little bit as well. Amanda, I would have never seen this side of her coming based off of like the early couple of episodes.
I never saw the unhingedness coming.
She was so demure. And do you remember how like she was clutching her pearls at Panthea bringing up the rumor and how she was just like, we don't talk about people, you know, we don't say these things. Like, you know, she was just so ladylike about it. And then 2 weeks later, she is flogging our good American sis.
When she had the hat and it was very like Devil's Wear Prada. Like she was so cold, no expression. She was just kind of like, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I've never been to your house.
When she says things like, how's the drinking going? I'm like, girl, that is mean. She's like, your husband doesn't even love you, darling. Like,
Juliet was like, you're on Ozempic. She was like, well, yeah, I've lost 8 kilos.
Yeah, she's so
you should try it. Or did she say something?
I would have never ever seen that. I would have never ever seen that come in. Panthea, the thing is, Panthea is one of them ones. Her bark is louder than her bite. She can't read though.
Yeah, at all.
Do you know what I mean? She just knows how to shout and just be petty, but she doesn't like. She can't stand in front of you and fucking clear someone. Yeah, the way Amanda's been clearing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to Paddington.
Paddington.
Amanda
is swamp.
Amanda can go toe to toe with these American ladies.
Possibly,
could. She could go toe to toe, and and because of these reasons, I love London anyways, because what I love about the essence of Housewives and the originality of it is about I'm richer than you. Yeah. This is what I have. Like this is how it started. If we look back at like Atlanta, it was about you know pretending that I'm gonna buy Big Papa buying me a Rolls Royce and I've got this house. So that's what I love about Housewives, and I think we kind of lose that a little bit with trying to be a little bit politically correct in these events and blah blah blah. So when someone is coming in and it's all about showing off your wealth and I'm better than you and I'm this and I'm so delusional, I love that. London brought that. It was just a war against who's richer than who can go to Buckingham Palace, who knows the king. So
it's just like a castle.
Exactly.
So I
was so damn shady with that. Panthea is so damn shady. She will not. She is like a dog with a bone with this whole castle thing. And whether she owns it or she's just got shares. It doesn't like. Have you got shares in the castle? Have you? Like, where's your shares?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But she came in so strong. Let's talk about Panthea a little bit because I feel like she came in strong from episode 1.
Yes.
And when you actually like what Isa saying, the things they fight about. This is what I want my housewives fighting about. When we talk about Salt Lake later. I was busting up at the latest episode because they were talking about the postcodes and the zip codes. And that's what I want to see in my housewives. I don't want to see you man getting dragged to jail and insurance fraud and all of these things, whatever. But Panthea came in strong from episode 1. And then when you unpack the reason why she was so mad at the other Julia, it was so fucking dumb.
The dentist thing, right?
Thing and her grown-ass son. Yeah. I honestly thought it was her child, her son, her kid. Come to find out she was referring to her grown-ass.
He's like almost 30, right? Yeah, he's a big man.
Panthea, be so fucking for real. Like, honestly. So, yeah, what do we think about her as a housewife?
I really liked her at first. But then the Karen stuff kind of made me think, oh, I don't like this. Like it just made... And then I also find that at these group dinners and events, she always finds a way to kind of make it about herself. And it's like, you've got main character syndrome, we get it. Her mum, though, is completely unhinged.
You see why she is.
But if you guys watch Shahs of Sunset, I don't know if you've ever watched it. She reminds me of like MJ's mum, who was like quite harsh, very like Iranian, very like firm. And I just love... Like, I love that kind of like generation because it's kind of like awkward to watch.
It's
like Elsa on Miami. Exactly. Yeah.
Those kind of like old school like immigrant parents, they just say it how it is. They don't care with their really, really bad facelifts and stuff like that.
At first I thought, is Panthea putting this on?
No, I actually
sometimes you just put it on, but I don't think she is. No, I think she's just so unhinged. I think she is emotionally unstable. and this is probably what we're going to keep continuing to get out of Panthea. She has absolutely no logic. So again, these characters make good TV. Will it be jarring over time? Like, because it's like you're not really arguing about anything. You just want to be the loudest one in the room. I don't know. But Panthea is something to talk about. I mean, Panthea and Amanda are the two that we're picking out to speak about. So they're doing something right in 100%. The sense of TV.
And I think with Panthea as well, I think her dynamic with Karen, another reason why I kind of let it slide when they go back and forth is because Karen, I don't think she's someone that sees race like that. Do you know what I mean? But I also don't think she's like, I don't think she's a coon in the sense of like, I don't see colour. I don't think she's one of them ones, but I don't think that she would go to that first. I think she would think, you're hating on me because my husband. You're hating on me because of this. You're hating on me because of that. She'll go to everything before. Like, I think you'd have to say something quite explicit
for her
to
for the penny to drop.
And I feel like sometimes we watch these things through our woke lenses. And it's like these people are not in that. She's not in that world. Do you know what I mean? She's married to a rich white man.
And her tagline, hello, I'm not common, I'm from the Commonwealth.
Exactly. I mean, bragging about being part of the Commonwealth, that tells you everything that you need to know. So I genuinely think when she's going back and forth with Panthea, we're seeing the racial dynamics, but I don't think she's seen it.
No.
I don't think she's seen it.
You're right. And there was a whole scene about how proud she is to be in Britain and British and how amazing and British. And it was less of the pride of being Jamaican a little bit later. So I think, you know,
what she said?
Karen's gonna fight.
Like, the UK is the motherland of the Caribbean or Jamaica.
Or like that,
I was like, wait, what? Like,
so
and I really like Karen, but
girl, sis, please.
So, and even with Panthea, I feel like sometimes she forgets that she's a woman of color. I think she's like so in there. Like, I think in her mind, she identifies as like a white, wealthy lady because the way she's behaving, I think she also forgets that she's a woman of color. So I'm not about to fight their battles when it comes to this. If they don't even care about the microaggressions and whatnot. So.
Same. I totally.
Panthea gives me like, you know, those people that try, like in school, that try to impress the white girl, like I'm just gonna go for the black girl because it's gonna make me have like better scoring points with like that's the vibe that she gives me. Like two people on the show, Karen and forgotten the other one's name, called her a narcissist, which I think she does display tendency of a narcissistic person. But I don't know whether because the last episode when, like the whole thing about the bill at the end of at the castle or whatever.
That's the shit funny. I love.
That was so funny.
She sent me a bill for £7.50 for a mackerel sandwich. That is my shit.
No, but Juliet is so like, she just doesn't get it because she then writes this big essay breaking down. Like, why would you admit you went through the cameras and broke down like you spent £12.50 on a porn star martini? Like you're not understanding, and you're actually showing these women that you don't come from wealth. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like that typical, like, you know, like Twitter, TikTok conversations, like when you go out for dinner with your girls, do you split the bills or do you? And like she was doing that in their version of splitting the bill when you go out for dinner. So she just didn't get it, and it was just like, girl,
because even was it Nessie was like, why didn't you just like when they came to you and told you that everyone's going to be billed, why didn't you just handle it?
That whole bill thing was hilarious because it was just like, they were all on the same page about it, weren't they? They were just like, oh, we thought we were coming as like, you know, this is a complimentary trip. Like, why are we now being billed for like, and Amanda was like, obviously I've got the £150. That's not the issue, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I love these women. I really like Nessie. I think she's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
She's
the calm in the
storm. She's always on the right side.
Yeah.
She gets it. She knows how to manage situations without actually being like a people pleaser or without actually being like fake. Like whatever she says in one conversation, she will repeat it to the other person. She'll pull up both sides about when they're wrong and stuff. I like her a lot. I don't understand why the American Juliet is it Juliet?
Juliet.
Sorry. Why the American Juliet is just getting her ass handed to her. There's so much missing. There's so much missing, but there's not a week that's gone by in the last few weeks where Amanda isn't clearing her.
And I think Karen said it, and she got offended.
Exactly. But it's like, I need to know, there's more to the story. Like, obviously, they've got this mutual friend or whatever.
The mutual friend needs to come on at this point.
The mutual friend needs to come on.
Like, join the group chat. Come and join us.
Because now it's making me think I don't like Juliet. And she hasn't done anything. Like,
I like Juliet.
She seems lovely.
Yeah.
She seems like, you know, she looks like Clean Rooney though. Every time I see her, I just see Clean Rooney. I'm just like, she looks like an older version of Clean Rooney. But yeah, she hasn't done anything, but Amanda's making me dislike her.
Yeah.
And I have to check myself because I'm like, she hasn't done anything. She's got personal issues with Amanda.
Yeah.
And Amanda is just flogging her at every opportunity that she gets. Do you think they're going to come to blows next week?
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's just going to be a don't put your hand in my face type of thing. Your comments about Juliet, I think it's right as well. I feel like Juliet, because she was introduced a bit later, I feel like she thought she was going to come in and like, obviously Amanda probably didn't know that maybe she was going to be on the show or something like that. So I feel like she came in thinking that, oh, I'm going to cause a ruckus, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then it kind of just backfired because maybe she didn't know what Amanda was on. Like, no, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, coming for your mothering skills, coming for your children. You don't know me, I don't know you type of thing. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I think Juliet is trying to kind of like portray like, you know, take the high road and I'm not going to stoop to this level. And I think she probably thinks that's Juliet. I've met Juliet, like I said, like years ago. I worked in the same PR company as her. So Juliet comes from a PR background. She's always been like main character syndrome.
Oh, sorry,
do you know what I mean? Like,
you're a PR person.
She's a PR person, right? She comes from PR. After that, she's been on TV already with, was it
Ladies of London?
Ladies of London.
She was on that.
Yeah, she was on that.
She needs to go on a
But that's why when she came in at this point, she's coming in at like a stepping point, right? Because she's like, out of everyone, she's the most known in like the real like reality TV shows anyways. So she probably thought she was coming in as like the star, like the delayed.
Yes,
like,
exactly. I think she was coming in as a star. And I think she also knows how to come across, and she doesn't want to come across as this you know, evil person that says whatever, but actually times have changed. We like mess. So you need to stoop to her level. You need to come, you need to read and just fuck it. Like she's come for your mothering skills. Like, what do you mean? Go all out, go to hell with her.
I can't believe Amanda was like, oh, sorry for calling you a bad mother, but in the same conversation, say that you're a bad mother again. I was like, and you're just there like, oh, I don't live in Paddington. That's what she was saying.
That's what you got out of that conversation.
Yeah, I feel like she was more offended by the Paddington thing. It's just like, oh my god.
Apparently she actually lives in Bayswater.
I mean, it's all fucking W something.
It's and it's like Bayswater. Like, but also, this is how tell me you're not from London without telling me you're not from London, because Bayswater is not like a bad area. Like historically, like thank you. Like historically,
that's what that fancy cinema is.
This is beyond our tax bracket.
If I hear W1, NW, oh, not that side of NW.
Like,
okay, there's levels to NW
is the hood, NW is the hood to these ladies. I can't believe.
Not St. John's Wood.
No, St. John's Wood is very nice.
Yeah. But now to these lot, no, it's not. I can't believe I was enjoying Paddington and Bayswater being called a swamp from my flat in Uxbridge, guys.
A rat-infested swamp.
Rat-infested. And I'm just there like, yes, Amanda, in Uxbridge.
I'm like, whack her again, whack her again.
No,
she was really whacking. Like, the whacks were just whacking. I was just like, wow.
But you know why Amanda's so good? It's because she just like has this stone cold face and she's just like, get out of here. Get out of my area. You're not from here. You didn't deserve to be here. Go on, off you go. Off you go.
She was so patronising, and you could see that Juliet wanted to cry. Like she really did.
She went home and she cried.
Yeah, she 100%. She was eating her up. So we'll see how that unfolds. But yeah, London, you're doing amazing things. We love it.
We love you, sweetie.
Keep going. And I hope the women don't change. I'm not really bothered about any of the other characters on there. We've talked about Nessie a little bit. We've talked about the Juliets. We've covered everybody right now. I feel like we can move on. Where should we go to next? Where on the map do we want to go? We can go to the snowy side of Salt Lake, or we can go to the sunny side of Miami. You guys
just get Miami out of the way.
Let's get Miami out of the way. Last time we recorded, we talked about Miami, and it was sort of like mid-season or whatever. We've now gotten to a point where we're at the end of the reunion, guys. What do you think about the season in general, Tammy?
I think that Miami is a franchise that doesn't get its props, because I think that the show is actually really, really good, and I can tell that the women on the show are actually friends. Like they, like it's a good, a good show, and I don't think it gets like the numbers like
of the best.
I think it is one of the best. It doesn't get the views like Beverly Hills and all that stuff, but I definitely think Miami is a solid show. This season was a little bit weird because I feel like the whole thing with Gertie, the spilling water, and then them kind of gaslighting her to make her feel like her feelings are not valid. Yeah. Even the whole cancer story, I don't really think people were actually there for her like they were there for Alexia when she's on and off with Todd. So I'm just like, it was a bit of a weird season. Julia, sorry,
I fucking hate her. Sorry,
I don't know,
worst housewife, like one of
the
worst in history.
One of the worst in history, along with Diana from Beverly Hills.
Like
God, they are in
awful.
A completely no. Julia is a social climber.
Yes.
She's been engaged about 16,000 times. Every single time she's engaged, she gets engaged to someone a bit more, has more money. Then she's now become a lesbian. Because I genuinely think that she is not. I don't think she's LGBT the way that she says that she is, because I feel like she's just used that. I feel like she's just see Martina and be like, pro tennis star, like that's how I'm gonna get. Because how are you being with her but still
consistently cheating with men?
Yeah, because this is my theory, guys. I have a theory. If you're going to, now I'm going to be a lesbian, it kind of makes sense to go for like maybe an older lady, because you know the sex drive might not be there, so you don't have to really be a lesbian.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you don't have
especially
to really
a retired athlete. She's
you know
just
and I'm sure like with the health and stuff, the drive isn't there. So this is a perfect way to be a lesbian. Like get the bag, be a lesbian, don't have to actually, full on do it, and be outside with the Haitian mortician.
Do you know what it is with Julia though? I have to say it. I do think she probably, we don't know her sexuality. She might be bi, God knows, whatever. Yeah. However, I think with Martina, the reason why it's kind of weird is, she's older. She's like, knocking on death's door and that. And then you go and approach these two boys, the boys that happen to be little black boys, which is fucking hella weird because they're in
Martina. She changed their names.
Changed their names.
Did she change their names?
Yeah, that's not the names they were born with.
Jackson and something. Jackson with an X, right?
Yeah, or something.
And Luca.
Yeah.
But also, even with that, I feel like I think we've said it before. Maybe we said it on Spaces. Maybe I said it on Twitter. But like, her adopting those boys is just her way of sealing in Martina's like will. It's kind of like she's got it in her head. She's got their money is going directly to those boys. Yeah.
Yeah, Julia, I do not fuck with that bitch at all. Like, it's very, very rare that like I feel this strongly about it, but she's just done too much. Like before, she was irrelevant to me. Like I didn't really care. She was just the loony lady on the farm with the eggs and her goats or whatever. I didn't really care about her. But I just feel like we've seen a very sinister side of her. Yeah. And it's actually very scary that she's being platformed as far as I'm concerned, because it's like outside of her being evil, like she doesn't even really bring anything. This whole opera thing is bullshit. Like no one cares about that. You can't sing, you're not an opera singer, let's be so fucking for real. The adoption to me is very sketchy. And also the woman that facilitated the adoption was arguing with,
she was in Gertie's comments.
Yeah, she was in Gertie's comments. I think
that's
I saw
weird.
Was it on Up and Adam or Kempire? I can't remember. One of those Housewives Kings was talking about it, and I think it was Kempire, and he was saying that she was all up in the comments like going back and forth with Gertie. I am so fucking sorry. That is very unprofessional, and that is very mad.
That should be a sackable offence.
Exactly, that you facilitated an adoption with black children, and you're in the comments of a black cancer survivor's Instagram talking shit. Like I find that, and obviously just because someone has a professional job doesn't mean human. Do you know what I mean? Like you can go and comment on things, but I find it all very weird, and like I can't disassociate all of those things. Yeah, Julia is very wicked. She's very evil. Even the way she presented herself, like the way she was just like when she just kept I'm sorry Gertie, I'm sorry Gertie,
for the 6th
I'm sorry
time.
Gertie.
I would say sorry for the 6th. I apologize 6 times.
Meaningless
and cold
and performative. You did not mean that sorry, and that's why when Adriana was trying to say like explain the thing about, I was getting really frustrated with Gertie. Like, why are you not explaining the situation?
This is a thing about Gertie, and I said before, like, I'm not a fan of Gertie specifically, but I am team Gertie anything. Do you know what I mean? Like Gertie is a bit dramatic. She is a bit much. She is a bit whatever. But when it comes to Gertie, I'm team Gertie. And she does do these things like Adriana is trying to help you here. And she gets so lost in her own train of thought or whatever it is that she's trying to get across.
She's
that
very
she just
long-winded.
doesn't
She doesn't land the point. She never lands the plane. It's like, just get there.
And she just doesn't help herself.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm trying to be in your team all the time, even with like the messages and stuff, you know, when she did the
Give us the highlights.
I get your point, but it just, you never land. Like maybe just stick by someone.
She should have got to the point about the text messages.
Yeah.
The point of the text messages were to prove, because Julia's whole thing was that Gertie begged to come on this trip and was being a clout chaser and was being a beg.
Yeah.
Come to find out that Gertie had already come off that same fucking trip. So how can she be a clout chaser when she'd already had her own personal invitation?
Yeah.
You invited her, which is very shady, because if your partner is in a health scare or a health crisis and you still want to go, this is the second time she's done this, or was it the same with the facelift thing?
Was it, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
she
was
went to France.
Yeah, so she had the facelift when Martina had a health scare, and then she went on this trip after Martina had a health scare. If that isn't telling, she doesn't give a shit about that lady. I'm so sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's
She
a
does
social
not.
climber.
Yeah.
She's
She is
looking
a
for the
big
next
opportunist.
bus.
Even bringing out your situation with Adriana, whether you slept with her or not, doing that when Martina has asked you not to and you brought it onto your camera, it just goes to show how much you're willing to sacrifice in life to keep giving yourself a platform, a step up, and whatever. Like, you honestly do not care.
She doesn't have one bit of respect for Martina, because you continuously cheat on her. The other season, the last season with Dr. Nicole, the season before, remember when there was the rumor going around about her, or no, maybe she admitted that she kissed a guy
At a country club or something.
Yeah, there's been so many accusations and allegations about her cheating.
Yeah.
Now that she's come out and actually admitted to these ones as well, you don't respect Martina. And Martina's problematic in her own view, but that's a whole different conversation. In terms of their marriage, she does not respect her. And clearly her having what do they have in Miami? A mojito. Her having a mojito is more important than the family dynamic that she's got at home. And it's very scary. So my whole thing is, if you would do that to Martina, what chance does fucking Gertie stand?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's just proof in the pudding as to how she treated Gertie. And I think Adriana was spot on when she said, she is a social climber. Tammy said the same thing. Like, she goes where it's popping.
Yeah.
She wants to be in there with Alexia and Marisol so badly. She was willing to throw her old friends under the bus, which is why she had the situation with Gertie. She had the situation with Adriana. It's not lost on me that your old friends are nowhere to be seen now that you're in there with the cool crew.
Yeah.
And I just find her very nasty. I feel like the way she just sat and victimized herself and talked in that low voice. And even when she outed Adriana, positioning herself as the victim to be like, I had to because Adriana was emotionally manipulating me
and he is abusing me, right?
And using buzzwords like that when you were the one that instigated the sexual activity, which I absolutely believe, because she gives predatory vibes anyway.
No, and she gets away with
everybody.
it. She gets away with it.
Everybody.
She
Production.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
And the whole thing with the reunion as well, which I didn't like as well, that all of this unseen footage, why are we not seeing it in the main shows? Why was the whole reunion dedicated to unseen footage?
Yeah.
And it's like you're trying to sanitize what's her name? Julia's sort of reputation by presenting her as this soft-spoken European woman. She's nothing
a
of the
terrorist.
sort. She's a fucking terrorist.
Did you see the way that she kept just following after Andy to try and like over-explain herself being a victim?
Yeah.
And then when he was like, but did you have an affair with the
Haitian
mortician? She laughed and she's like, TBD.
Yeah.
So it's like, she just does not care.
And this is why I said that I don't really think that she's in the LGBTQ community, because you saying that you slept with Adriana, you might have just outed her.
Exactly.
Like
that part.
If you were real ally,
like Adriana has never come out and said that, I'm bisexual or I'm queer and things like that. Like, you've just come on to this platform, massive platform with millions of viewers to out her and then be like, oh, but she was blackmailing me, I'm a victim. And it's kind of like, no.
And it had nothing to do with it as well.
No,
like, it wasn't
nothing at all.
Like, where is the connection between what we're talking about, which is the demise of your friendship, and you guys sleeping together? That has got fuck all to do with it, because clearly because this was seasons ago. So after that happened, clearly you guys were still good. So we're talking about the demise of your friendship. So it was so manipulative of her to bring that. I think she's fighting for her life to keep her mojito. I think she's seen the public backlash, and I think she believes that if she's this scandalous character, she's kind of like trying to strong arm production and to bringing her back. And I think, like, when it comes to production and stuff like that, I think certain people play the game very well, and that's how they secure their position. time and time again.
Marisol.
Like Larsa,
Exactly. And I think
Yeah.
that there are some people that give nothing and still they have a peach, still they have a whatever, and they keep on coming back because they're in there with Andy in production, as opposed to being maybe really stellar housewives.
Yeah.
And I think that she is one of those characters, but I find her very wicked. I wish that Gertie really utilised the opportunity to be like, if this is what happened, it was so fucking
I
frustrating.
don't think
No, but
Gertie
guys,
will
we
ever
just-
have the ability
she missed the opportunity.
articulate herself or get
Or
to the
concisely,
point.
yeah.
I don't think Gertie will ever have the ability, and she does, because she does have a jarring personality trait. It just doesn't.
I don't think she's
win for
jarring.
her.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes we kind of put this label on. I don't know. I don't think she's jarring. I don't think she's too much. I think Gertie is who Gertie is. Full stop. Yeah, they can't handle it. They don't like her. That's the crux of the
To
issue.
me,
Yeah.
Gertie is jarring.
Yeah, but like I never want to be like a black woman's too much. Like I just think I can't.
No, do you know what it is? I feel like she just needs to be a bit more concise. Because I feel like on Housewives generally, you need to be concise. You need to like people. People call Dorit long-winded as well. And I just feel like both of them is the same thing. Like you're going on and on about the same point. Someone's trying to help you. You're not holding on to that lifeline. And then it's. But I'm just like Gertie just needs to articulate herself a bit better. Come with the facts. Come with like it's like she's trying to give a performance of the whole thing. Like and that's why we just need to reel it back. Like I get what you're saying because sometimes we put these labels on black women. Oh, you're this too. But Gertie just needs to calm down, scale it back, and just actually just lay down the points. I revealed these text messages because A, B, and C.
Yeah,
exactly.
I did this because A, B, and C.
Yeah.
You poured a drink on me. This is why I now retaliated and did this.
Yeah.
Her now going, oh, let's see what the public think. And it's just like, no, we don't need this whole charade of a performance. But just tell us what happened. Like, how many times does he have to ask the question? Okay, so why did you do that?
Exactly.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like,
what did the text message
what
say?
What does it prove? What is it? Oh,
But it's like PPE.
And that's
They
what
never
I mean
Americans.
about jarring, not her. Like these things
jar
me. It's like, these
Just
is what.
So
I
not
find
her personality.
jarring. Yeah, because this is though her personality. Do you know what I mean?
She's
like
long-winded.
Yeah,
Very
it's
long-winded.
just
She
like
doesn't get
Dorit.
to the point, and she needs to kind of like see it out before she then brings it back up.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are jarring. Like it's.
I do think she's theatrical.
She is, I'd probably say theatrical over
And
But
I
what
feel-
I will
go on.
I was just going to say, I feel like Gertie's held to a different standard when it comes to that Miami franchise because it's funny, especially with Julia, because it's funny how Gertie not being able to make it onto the Zoom of her announcement of the adoption, and I reckon Julia probably kicked her out of it anyway. Let's be real. But Marisol and Alexia not getting on the private jet to go to these rich men's house, who are now going to be the godparents of your boys. The boys.
Social
the
climber.
boys. Yeah, thank you. Like, tick point, social climber.
Yeah, 'cause why are you doing all of that?
But she's
Like,
okay
they
with
live
her
away in
friends
Marbella,
not
you live
going.
in Miami.
Yeah.
And they're also on death's door too.
Yeah, she just
And this is why I also think Julia is a social climber because you're willing to adopt these boys. What about your actual kids?
Exactly.
What about your daughters that are not seeing eye to eye with your wife? Especially, I think it's Emma that hasn't come around. Like let's mend the relationship with your actual children before you go on and adopt these two black boys when your wife has had a history of saying derogatory things about black people.
Exactly.
I just don't understand how. And then this is another thing. Adriana wrote a character statement for you to get the boys. And then when they're now asking you, oh, was she ever in the running to become a godmother? No. But people that live thousands of miles away are the godparents of your
It proves the social climate thing.
Yeah,
because
100%.
Of course, like fucking hell, like these would be the best.
Yeah,
options.
did you
Do
see
know
their
what I mean?
house?
Yeah, White Lotus.
But I think with Julia, she is in this constant battle of trying to portray herself as this innocent farm lady, loves the world, rainbows and butterflies, and because she's trying so hard and it's not landing because that's not who she is.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why, she, poor me, my wife has cancer. I'm going to adopt black boys. I think even the adopting the black boys is all a
performative.
ploy.
Part of the same thing.
Keep this image of how, amazing. And now Adriana was holding this thing and blackmailing me. It's just like, just be who you are.
No
like,
accountability whatsoever. She's a perpetual victim. And I'll go as far as saying that the adoption of the black boys is to sanitize any sort of racist accusations that they had.
I'm not buying it. Martina loves the boys. Exactly, the boys. She does everything for the boys.
I totally agree with what you're saying, Tammy, as well. I find it mad that you've got a contentious relationship with your children and you're bringing another dynamic into your family. Listen, I think
didn't tell them that it was happening.
I think adoption is beautiful. I think it's the most wonderful thing anybody can do, and I rate people that do it highly. But I think that make sure that your shit is, because you're bringing those children into that dynamic. And I'm really scared for those black boys, because if their sisters don't fuck with them and something happens, like, who are they gonna have? Like, these are the things that I'm really like. I just feel really passionately about the little boys.
Can I ask though? My thing is, even with that adoption, why is the onus on the sisters to kind of look after them when you haven't even like come to them in the beginning from the offset and said, this is what we're gonna do?
Exactly.
Like,
also, I just think she's very selfish. I just think she's completely obsessed with her image. I think that she's seen the flogging because she got her ass handed to her. Everything I saw on social media, there was, even if you hated Gertie, nobody could justify that. Nobody could okay that, because it was so foul and it was so uncalled for. And I'm going to consistently call out the throwing of the drink in her face, because it was so unwarranted. And it was such an obvious silencing tactic, because she knew that Gertie, and again, like, Gertie didn't, like, that should have never happened. But if maybe Gertie just gotten to the point about, bro, like,
what are you victim blaming?
Because you know, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you invited me on the bloody trip. Like, get to it. Do you know what I mean? But again, it doesn't matter. The throwing of the drink 100%. Was so premature anyway. Do you know what I mean? And she knew what she was doing. The whole thing was just disgusting. Like, I really dislike that woman. And to think, every time I think about how hard she's going for this friendship with Alexia and Marisol, and I think that Alexia called you a fucking Russian prostitute, bruv. Like, Alexia has been so coded and underhanded with her homophobia. And that's, again, that leans into this whole thing of, are you really even, you know, because... do you remember when Alexia was like, oh, can I even share a bed with you?
Can't share a bed with you.
Alexia, shut the hell up. Like, shut the hell up. Like, that was just so homophobic. Like, I just found that so disgusting. But you can overlook all of these things, but you can't overlook whatever. All now, we don't even know what Gertie did to her. So, the Julia is a nasty piece of work. Larsa brought absolutely zero. Like,
what do you think about Kiki?
Kiki's a coon. I'm so sorry. Kiki is a raccoon, and she keeps on doubling down on her raccoonness. I didn't really understand that whole thing. I love Adriana, and I think that when it comes to these things, like, we do give grace to people we like. Her bringing that black woman to validate her story was very wild. I don't think we've talked about that since we've been like, that was very wild. Look at my black friend.
Here's my black friend. I'm not racist.
She's like, black woman to black woman. I was like,
she was like, I just thought that was insane.
Clicking down.
But it was so Adriana. It was so. And
like,
do you know what?
What are you doing?
Even though she handled it in the maddest way, I respect the fact, and again, maybe I'm just doing too much. I'm giving too much grace because it's Adriana and I fuck with her so heavy, even though I didn't in the beginning. I think that I like that she was going hard to prove that she's not a fucking racist. I would give her that. Because usually people don't give a damn. It's just like, oh, whatever I said, what I said kind of thing. But I think she really wanted to emphasize that she wasn't like, she was like, this is my friend of 17 years. Like, she was really trying to.
She really did live in action of, but I have black friends.
This one I made earlier. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just pull this black woman out.
We've been friends for 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. That was very mad, Adriana, but we'll let it slide. But that was mad. But Kiki, I can't. No, she's a coon. Sorry.
I think she got a lot of slack on social media as well, because even before the reunion aired, she was doing like a press tour, going on all these different interviews. I think she sat down with Carlos King and things like that. So I know that she got a lot of, because obviously her and Gertie are both Haitian. So it's kind of like, why are you not being there for your Haitian sister, things like that. And even when I think the second, I can't remember what part of the reunion this was, when she was like, oh, are we comparing grief when it came to Lisa?
Like, shut up.
Just shut up.
Yeah, she's
just shut up. She's another one, but
the more time she has camera, the more time like we're seeing kind of like her weirdo side.
Yeah.
And also, we never really got to the bottom of why she unfollowed Gertie, because she was kind of like alluding to the fact that, you know, we will see at the reunion what Gertie did and why she. And I've watched the reunion and I still don't understand why you unfollowed Gertie. Maybe this is another unseen footage. I don't know, but I don't know. Kiki's just, it's not making sense to me. I really liked her at the beginning. I thought she was fun. Then I started liking, like, you know, learning about her and her kids and where she comes from, and yeah, it just went all
Can I
downhill.
ask though, why does she keep saying like everyone's calling me racist? Like
because everyone's calling her a coon, basically. Like
but the the whole. Anyways,
I get that there's a language barrier.
Yeah,
I get 100% get there's a language barrier.
But with Kiki, this is my frustration with her. Yeah, you are a beg for Marisol and Alexia constantly, right?
Yeah.
Marisol is the one that was behind the scenes,
Exactly.
like meddling at your detriment, and you're still like, oh, we're still friends, and I forgive you. And it's like, wake up.
But you can unfollow Gertie.
Yeah.
You can unfollow Gertie. And the reason why she didn't have a legit reason about why she unfollowed Gertie is because there was no legit reason.
No.
She unfollowed Gertie because of the backlash she was getting because
100%.
everybody was backing Gertie.
Yeah.
And then she just, instead of her to just be like, oh, okay, I understand like Gertie was a victim, she's been like, she's kind of like internalized it in a way.
Yeah.
But it's literally the viewers watching it and seeing what's happening and being like, we're team Gertie. And I guess people commenting saying she didn't do enough and her pulling her away from a situation and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But to your point, Feven, it's facts. Like, that is very wicked, and I think that speaks to Marisol's character, that she didn't give a shit about you.
No.
She doesn't give a shit about you in the fact that she was just trying to get Adriana off her neck.
Yeah.
So she even did that to protect herself and then to protect the person that actually called you that used a microaggressive term against you.
To be
and
fair,
this is the person you want to call your friend.
She did pull that up though, like in the last. I mean, she should have just kind of went a bit harder on Marisol, but she did pull it up. Like, you're meant to be my friend, and you were helping my enemy at the time. So
they are not her friends. She
but
needs to
I feel like
realise
when Kiki
she's
did
a token.
that, it was like whatevs
Yeah,
at that point.
she
It's like
wasn't
you're
hardly
saying
bothered.
it to Marisol, but tomorrow you're friends. It's like you're not going to stand on shit.
There was no real smoke, so that's why I was down that hill. And again, I get it. Like, I get what she's trying to say, because I feel like sometimes not everybody sees things through a racist lens.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody does, and I respect that. And listen, I actually take my hats off to people that live like that, because it must be very nice, to just go
live in a bubble like that.
Live in a bubble and just not see things that like other people see or whatever. I get it, but like, she's made it a point to be like, I don't believe you're racist. I don't believe you're racist. Like, she keeps on saying it. And when she uses the term racist, I think she's like using it interchangeably with like the fact that people call her a coon. So she's just she's basically trying to say I'm not a coon and people are calling me a coon, but you are, because you keep on going to bat for these for these white women that don't fuck with you. And I'm not saying that because her and Gertie are both black, they must, but right is right and wrong is wrong. In that instance, you should not be giving Julia the time of day at all. Do you know what I mean? So for that, she will forever be a coon, and she keeps on doubling down on it. So I don't like her. I liked Kiki when we saw less of her, when she was just a fun friend dog. Just like chiming in every day now and then with her one-liners and her fabulous outfits and her amazing body.
That's the thing about Miami. The friends of are basically like,
they're like
full-time
girls.
Look
Exactly.
at Marisol, like,
to think that Marisol and Adriana even are friends
they
of.
need to give Adriana her mojito now. Like, she's been carrying. She carried the season. Like, she's just constantly carrying. She carried the reunion.
Have you seen her now? She's carrying social media too.
She's
doing interviews. She's doing interviews spilling all of Julia's tea. She's proper spilling. She's like, and then there was this person and there was that person. And did you know she also did this? Like, she is spilling the tea.
I want Dr. Nicole to come back.
I really want Dr. Nicole.
I think that's what Gertie is missing.
She needs that.
I feel like if Dr. Nicole was here this season, I feel like the season might have been a bit better for Gertie, because I feel like she'd be able to kind of communicate, because you know Gertie's very long-winded. Dr. Nicole would be able to communicate how Gertie's feeling. And I wonder if Dr. Nicole was still on the show, Julia would have actually thrown the drink at Gertie.
I think she would have, you know.
I don't think so, because remember it used to be them three.
No, because it was a silencing thing.
Yeah, no, I think she would.
She must
and also,
Dr.
Nicole has also done. Dr. Nicole did a podcast as well, and I can't remember word for word, but she did mention that Julia has aggressive, like there's been
there was flashbacks of her being aggressive.
Unseen footage where she was doing something with the chair or something. And I'm like, I didn't realise how aggressive Julia was.
It's in Julia full stop. I think it is in Julia full stop.
But I think her whole thing was, well, the thing is, maybe if Dr. Nicole was there, that whole storyline wouldn't have been a thing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it would have gone as far as it
wouldn't have escalated.
Because I think that Julia used that as a storyline and it backfired. Because she thought that if she integrates Martina's cancer, Gertie would automatically be the
villain.
bad guy,
Yeah.
but also Gertie's also a cancer survivor, so what are you fucking talking about? But there was no need for that to even be a thing, because that stuff did not happen on camera. And we're also talking about shit that happened 2-3 years ago. Why was it even a thing? So maybe if Dr. Nicole was there might have been a different dynamic, because they were all cool. And maybe she wouldn't have been desperate for a storyline. Who knows? All I know is she's got to go. But apparently there's rumours that a couple of them are up for on the chopping block. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting my shows mixed up on the chopping block, so we'll see. We should quickly move on, because we've still got to do maths really quickly, and we've still got to do Salt Lake. Let's move on to Salt Lake whilst we're in Bravo land. Who's watched it? Where are we? Thoughts?
I think Salt Lake is 10 out of 10.
10. Yeah.
I think if I'm comparing it to all the other shows that are airing at the moment, so I cannot believe that one place was the whole episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One scene was the whole
this
episode.
is traditional Salt Lake though. They can
They
they
deliver.
have so much content.
Yes.
They have so much content that you're not even realizing that things haven't even moved around like we are.
Exactly. I'm not concentrating on the location. I'm just thinking, get it, Lisa.
Okay, I think I have an unpopular opinion.
Go on.
I feel like it's getting a bit like, so far this season feels a bit repetitive. There's like a dinner, there's an argument, and then like they pretend to sort their issues,
But they haven't actually.
and then they haven't. Like I'd rather just like let the beef continue.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at them.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm not-
funnier
yeah.
that they pretend to make up and then they're still arguing about the same thing. As soon, with Housewives, we know the formula.
Yeah.
Like we see the little in-between bits of their family, but once they're planning an event.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
going
yeah,
down.
You know, it's-
Once the group everyone gets together in
It's
a
just a
room,
nightmare.
then
It's a
shit is
nightmare.
about to go down.
Yeah.
Those are like my favorite bits. The in-between bits I can take it or leave it or whatever. But I feel like they have been linking up every episode.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Housewives or whatever, it's not every episode
No.
that they can get together.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like with this sort of like every episode there's been a link up. And
There's been
and then there's been like smoke, and
Yeah.
it's just been insane. They fight over, I don't even know what they're beefing over anymore. Actually, no, I've got a question. Guys, how did you feel about Bronwyn having to admit the whole thing about the chain? I'm so embarrassed about the necklace. I'm so embarrassed for her. And I love Bronwyn. She's my favourite.
I love Bronwyn too. I'm glad she just did it, addressed it, and moved on, because I feel like that says more about her personality than it does. Like, who cares at this point? It's like,
It was
well,
quite
forget about
embarrassing,
it. That was cringe.
I mean, I felt like she had to.
Yeah,
because
true.
it's like, you've been caught out.
You busted.
Yeah, like I think she was just backed in the corner, like you're gonna have to. And the only way that you can like turn things around is literally by saying, yeah, I did, and I cared so much about my image. And do you know what I mean? So it's like, so I don't think it was like I don't think she would have ever willingly done that. She didn't get caught out. I think she would have just stuck by her lie. And do you know what it is? Like, fair plays.
I don't know how I feel about Bronwyn. I liked her when she first came on, and then she started clicking down for me with the whole thing with her going against Lisa, because I just feel like everybody wants to be Lisa's friend.
Yeah.
And the way she was like, oh no, she had it's apparent that she really wants to be Lisa's friend. And I'm just like, just stand on your own. But then when I'm looking at her mother, I'm just like, oh, this is a result of that woman. Like, I can understand.
Definitely.
And the whole necklace thing, I like it when housewives are truthful. Like if you're capping at the beginning and then you actually come around and I actually didn't actually buy the necklace. Like, I like that. I prefer that, because if you end up like Dr. Wendy,
Exactly.
like going through insurance to try and keep up with buying 5 Birkins. So I like the fact that she was able to be like, to be truthful and be like, okay, I didn't buy the necklace. But yeah, the jury's still out on me with Bronwyn, because I just want her to, like I think Mary said before the season had started or something like that, like Bronwyn wants to be liked by everyone, and you can't do that as a housewife. You cannot do that. You will go down a spiral and you won't be able to come out.
Yeah, and just to add to that, it's like I'm like this with Bronwyn, because sometimes I do like her. Sometimes I think, I'm not sure. I'm not saying she's like Julia, but she gives a little bit of Julia vibes, in a sense of, I think that she probably does want to be like liked, popular. She has this victim thing of, what she's been through with the kids and stuff. She kind of like, look, the social climate might be there as well. And I know that her ex-husband, father, like, did you read the that he did. Someone like tried to approach him and like do an interview. He kind of wanted to like not be
What
involved.
ex-husband? Because the father.
So the father
her
of
daughter's dad.
Isn't he dead?
He's dead.
No. There was no. She has an ex-husband.
Okay, that's not Gwen's dad.
Before Todd.
Like he's dead.
Not Todd.
Yeah, she has an ex-husband.
And there's loads of Todd losing my mind.
There's 3 Todds on Bravo.
I need to
That's why I was like, Todd.
I need to pull it up and
husband,
put it on the group chat. But they would try to kind of like, get some tea of him, and he's just like, look, I don't want anything to do with this lady kind of thing. And
for now,
he was like, they're like, with this, and he was like, the thing about Bronwyn is, I'm not surprised she's on TV. I'm not surprised she's with the husband.
That's shady though. You might as well do the interview at this point.
He's like, good for her. This is something that she's always wanted. She's always wanted to work her way up to top, and I'm proud of her. Good luck for her. Don't bring me into her mess kind of vibe.
So he gave the interview without giving it.
But
rather than just no comment.
Like, so it's just like, good luck to her, whatever. And so it's just almost like, I'm still trying to figure out who is the real her.
But that is not a crime.
No, I like Bronwyn. I like the way she dresses. I like the way she reads people for filth. I feel like bringing her mum into it this season kind of makes me understand her a lot more in the sense that I'm like, it's kind of like Monica and her mum, and you're like, shit, like your mums are actually like, this is, I mean, when her mum was sitting there talking about, when Bronwyn was sitting there talking about how hard it was, because like what she's been through, like let's not downplay it, 19 years old, pregnant, your mum is hiding you from the world, your mum is celebrating your sisters over you when you're all pregnant, and then it was like, when she was like, oh, it was so hard for me being pregnant at 19. Her mum's like, well, how hard do you think it was for me hiding it? And it's like, wait, what?
Her mum is unhinged, I'm sorry.
And now you're in her big house.
Exactly.
I'd have kicked her out, sorry.
Exactly. Her mum is very cold and like, her mum's very cold and wicked, like, and it does expect. But I think that considering that, it makes me like Bronwyn even more.
Yes, thank you.
Like, despite the fact that you've got, like, you actually have a legit crutch, because some people on some of these housewives are just wicked. Their mums come on, they're sweet as pie.
Yeah. So what's your excuse?
Like, so what's your excuse? Like, I actually think that Bronwyn is a very nice person.
Yeah,
I don't think I really fuck with her. Like, she's my favorite addition to any franchise in a really long time.
She has a real storyline. Like she has that problematic older husband.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? She broke free from the Mormon traditions. Like, she actually has like some grit to her.
Yeah.
On top of it, she's highly intelligent. She's highly articulate. She can fucking read down. She don't give a damn. She'll stand up for herself. Like, I just love her.
Their reads kill me. Like, what the fuck is gout dick?
I know. That's like least. Like, no, the thing is, Bronwyn isn't like, her reads are more like eloquent. They're more like intelligent. It's more well thought out. There was something you said about Bronwyn.
Wildest things and like, because it was circle jerk.
Exactly.
Circle jerk was
like,
funny.
I'm learning
Angie
things.
gets so triggered though. Like, talking about Angie, don't talk about her man. I love Angie. Angie and Bronwyn are my favourites.
I feel like this season Angie's doing a bit too much.
Do you think?
Like, she's like screaming a lot, pointing a lot, and it's like, yo, dude, I feel like you're listening to like the fans a bit too much, because there's been times where people have been like, oh my god, Angie's so funny, she's amazing, and like you'll see the TikToks and the social media takes and whatnot, and I think she's leaning into it too much, and I think when you do that for the audience, it kind of,
I don't know. I think it could be that. And I also think there's a breaking point to people, and she kind of seems like she's had enough.
She's tired of Lisa's
like
but what's her issue with Lisa?
I can't remember.
Thank you.
I can't remember.
I feel like her shoutings and her whatever, like sometimes you could, like Panther, you could feel like this is a performance, but with her you could really see like
the
she's
rage.
She's breaking that. I think you can see the rage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think she's having enough as well.
Yeah, and there's probably things going on in her personal life that we don't know about, because that robotic husband of hers, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a fucking menace behind the scenes.
Yeah. But when she was like shouting this episode, did you not see her smile at one point when she, like, guys, go back and watch it. She's up there, like standing up there shouting and pointing and whatever. And there's a bit where people are like, calm down. And then she kind of smiles, and I was like, is she acting? Like, it was really weird.
I think what it is, I think the fight was going on for so long.
Yeah, it was going on for time.
At the point you'd be like, what are we even, like, to myself, I'd be like, what are we even fighting about anymore? So that's probably why she cracked a smile to herself, because it started just getting very, very high school.
The whole thing is just so chaotic. Like, you've got these lot like fighting over here. You've got the
tarot reader.
There was so much going on.
They're just breaking down. You've got
the weather was knocking down all the ornaments.
Yeah. Every time homeboy was mentioned.
Oh my God, exactly.
You've got was it Brit? No, what's her name?
Brittany.
You've got Brittany with her usual thing with
her.
like,
she's
Jed's
unhinged.
calling, like, it's just this whole thing is just so chaotic.
Production must be screaming every time they film.
Yeah,
that must be their favorite thing to film on because it's going to break out into a fight all the time. And sorry, what the hell was Meredith wearing?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was her at first. At first, I thought it was someone else.
I liked the idea. I feel like if someone else was wearing it, you might prefer
I thought it was someone else.
I think we're used to Meredith and her blazers. Like,
she's stepping into her DJ now.
Yeah,
she has to step away from the blazers.
I think her son is like styling her a bit more now.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Did you guys watch
The Next Gen?
I watched a few episodes.
Loved it.
I think it was really good.
It was really good. I want the next season.
It was very good.
I need to watch it.
I thought I would hate it because it's like, it's just gonna be like these like
Bravo kids.
Yeah, but it was really good.
It was good.
See, I don't mind the Bravo kids doing their own thing. I don't want to see them driving and going to college on Housewives. I just want to see the women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I care about. But no, Salt Lake is really, really giving. Lisa, again, she's quite delusional. She's one of my favorites as well. She is delusional. And then now her delusion of grandeur is through the roof because she just believes everyone's so jealous of her. And because she is popping, like she does a lot outside
I was
the
with
show.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, and you can see that they get annoyed like at how she refers to stuff that she's doing outside of the show.
Yeah, especially Heather.
Heather does not like it.
Heather's a hater.
Heather
She's
is a hater.
always been a hater.
Do you know what it is? I feel like Lisa separates herself a bit too much from the group. You're like, yes, your show's been on for a couple of years, but it's not staple like Atlanta. It's not staple like Beverly Hills. Like
you're not Nene.
Yeah, exactly. Like I understand that you're probably the breakout star from the show, but you're not cemented in the Bravo universe that much for you to be that delusional and be like, I don't live the same lives that you guys live.
Exactly.
I don't do like I'm with Usher and like it's just like, okay, we understand that you've done well, you've got a couple of deals outside of the show, but you're not that far removed from the other women of the show. So that I think that's the disconnect that she's having with the people on the show. She's thinking that she's so much better than them and so much miles ahead of them.
Yeah.
But it's really like,
I
listen, you calm down. You're still on the show. You still need the show. Yeah. Because if the show goes away, no one's thinking about Lisa Barlow.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're not thinking like Nene hasn't been on the show, been on Atlanta for so long, but we still talk about Nene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We still talk about all these people. We still talk about Kenya. We're still going to talk about you. The show hasn't been solidified that much for you to separate yourselves from them that much. That's my
and also,
opinion.
I think that's a perfect point because at the end of the day, look at what Nene did that. And Nene did that seasons and seasons in, and it still went back to bite her on the bum to the point where now she's basically fighting for her life, trying to go back on there. And they don't want anything to do with her. And Nene got humbled very quickly when her things started crumbling around her. Do you remember she was the breakout star? She was doing all of this stuff. Yeah. And then none of it really came, like all of it started to crumble. And then she needed the show again.
Exactly.
And then all the other women had built their profile. So I just think that Lisa should be very careful with all of that stuff because as quickly as it's given to you, it can also be just like, don't forget where you came from kind of thing. And also, if you were such a breakout star, you wouldn't need it.
You wish you wouldn't have come back.
So you understand the importance of the show as like, you know, as a supporting actor in like whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's also a bit of a cover up for her just to make herself feel better because I think that she has these relationships with women where, to be honest, out of all of these franchises, none of them are to be trusted. But I think with Salt Lake, they're just not to be trusted with like personal things and things like that. And I think she's seen it, experienced it or whatever. And that's why she's not forthcoming. Like she's very surface level, like Whitney says. I think she really does try to protect herself and her marriage because she knows how far and dark it gets.
That's
with
why she
these
broke down when
ladies.
she was speaking to the fortune telling women.
Yeah, and I think she's probably trying to balance with, she needs the show, she knows she needs the show, she has to be on the show, but she's going to protect her shit and she's going to try and pattern up outside of the show. And then the cover up to make her feel better or not even address it or process it is, well, I've got things going on outside of this. I think it's also a cover up because I do feel for her and I do understand that I'm not bringing my business to these lot either. Like, and every time I am with you lot, it is always like a Lisa, you've done this, whether they're right or wrong, regardless, it's always like a Lisa thing. So naturally, I am going to separate myself as much as I can, do whatever I can outside of this, and just clock in for work and clock out when I need to.
Yeah.
But with that though, Lisa's also been the one that's kind of been digging on other people. So it's like no one would be going digging.
100.
Yeah.
It's like glass houses.
Do you believe that she told Angie to get up mess on Meredith?
100%.
Yeah. She probably did.
Of course she did.
Probably did.
She definitely did.
I believe anything with these.
Same. I think they all do. I think the only person that lives a little bit in La La Land and thinks they're all friends is Heather.
Yeah.
You know, Heather, I don't actually.
But
Heather's annoying, but I don't
doing that because I think she's still stuck in that. Remember, Heather was very hated and she was very into like separating and she's evil and whatever. And then she had to kind of like come back, and her comeback was, let's kumbaya. Like, I'm trying to show that I'm not this like big hater and whatever. And I think she just hasn't redeveloped away from that. And I think she's still stuck with the kumbaya.
Yeah, she is.
I think Mary had a point though to Angie. Like, okay, cool. Lisa might have said that, but you was on it.
You were with it when it was popping.
When it was popping, it was with it. And now it's not popping no more. And that's one, I love Angie to bits. But that's one thing that's like my triggers with people. It was like when we were cool, do you know what I mean?
It was
now
okay.
We're not cool. I don't like friends that bait up the business when you're not okay. Come to me about whatever your issue is with me, but it's like the issue's not landing or no one cares about it. So now you're gonna try and like bring out all this shit that you was with. So that's, and I like that Mary kind of stood on that.
One thing about Mary, she might not talk often, but when she talks, she is a broken clock. Like, do you know what I mean? She will hit home. So I thought that point was so valid. And do you know what? Yeah, there was this whole thing on TikTok about Mary and how she is so different to the other sort of black castmates that they have on Housewives when they're the only black in the village kind of vibe. And everybody was like, it's because Mary don't give a damn.
Yes.
And the thing is, a lot of the times, like when you've got like the Garcelles or whoever it is, they're trying to integrate so badly into this friend group, whereas, and Gertie as well, and Kiki and stuff, whereas Mary genuinely does not give a damn about these
and she's just herself. And people gravitate towards her.
Exactly. They want to be in her world. And she's like, fuck you. Like, you're not going to be in my world.
She's like a bit away with the fairies.
Mary lives in her own world. And she comes out just to do the show and then goes back.
Exactly.
And she's been like that from the first season. Like, she was very like, at first I was like, I don't even get this lady. Like, you just don't understand her, but she doesn't. No one gives a shit, whatever. And also, I think it works because she's so loved. It's almost like she doesn't have to do much for these ladies.
She just has to show up.
Like the lady,
and just be herself.
Everyone knows that you kind of try and swing a little bit by what the public is saying. And if she's naturally loved by the public, naturally they're just gonna
she just has to keep being
cool with Mary anyways. Whereas like with the other seasons, like you have to get that popularity and Mary never needed.
She never needed
from when she could smell the hospital on Jen Shah.
Heather Inbred. Heather Inbred is like top 10.
And when she doubled down and said it in her face, I just thought, oh my God, Mary is so unhinged, but I love her now.
You have to like her because the world likes her. So she doesn't have to do anything.
Because they were talking about why that dynamic doesn't play out in Salt Lake. Like Mary's just a cast member. She's not a black cast, but she's just there. She's just so integrated in the group. And I was like, it's so true. I definitely think it's for all those things. Like,
wait, do you also think, hang on, sorry. I'm just thinking, do you also think it's because Mary, race doesn't really, there's never really any microaggressions that Mary has faced, historically, right? It seems like race doesn't exist in their little circle of friends.
But it just goes to show, if you have people that are not racist, then it won't show up.
Do you know
what I mean? Like, if people don't have those in sort of like those biases, like, those internalized like biases, it won't show up. People can just coexist, and then there doesn't need to be microaggressions because you're not.
It's not in you.
And you can definitely see that because I remember when Jen was on the show, I remember she used to make comments like, oh, you're doing this because I'm black. First of all, you're not even black.
Exactly. I was going to say, she's not even black.
She's not like Hawaiian or something. So you can definitely I know that Salt Lake City, I don't think they're racist on that show, but Jen definitely, she was just
Jen did
chaotic.
bring like the race thing.
But she was deflecting from her thievery.
Thank you. And also, did she say Mary wouldn't go to 7-Eleven because there was like black boys outside or something? Like, it was Jen that was like causing all the chaos.
That is all deflection. So
exactly.
anything that Jen has to say, I just think that lady's a criminal. So Yeah.
Can I just say one thing on Heather though? Like, I cannot stand when she delivers like her pieces to camera, the voiceover, the love and light shit. Like, just fuck off.
She's a bit disingenuous.
Yeah.
I don't mind Heather.
I don't mind Heather.
She's a beg.
I don't mind her.
I feel like she's very insecure.
Yeah,
I feel like
deeply.
you can definitely tell that she's carried some insecurities from when she was a child till now, and it's definitely apparent because she lost a lot of weight. She was on Ozempic, things like that, and she was. Even when Jen was on the show, it was like she was trying to prove herself all the time, being loyal and stuff like that. But I think we're probably going to start seeing a shift in Heather where she's not going to be as pick me and try and like be with all the girls. She's just trying to be like the mother hen, like, oh no, we need to be together and stuff
Heather
like that.
found her formula of when, because she's just like always backlash. And then she had a moment where it was like, oh, okay. And she
Receipts,
found
proof.
her formula. And I think she's just trying to now adapt like to that. She's just said, okay, this is how I need to be. So this is how I'm going to continue to be.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's genuine, but it's kind of working for her because she is in the background. No one's really talking about her. Like she's not getting backlash at the moment.
She doesn't really have that much.
She doesn't really have that much of.
I'm not gonna allow her to have that because the whole thing with Jen and the black eye and stuff
that was
I'm
a lot.
gonna allow her
She
to
can
coast
rest.
for a couple of seasons, and then she can probably come back up in a couple of seasons.
She's definitely given a lot. Sorry, Brittany's very unhinged. Just quickly,
So unhinged.
because we'll move on to Married at First Sight really quickly. Brittany is very unhinged. She definitely is tapped.
Yes.
The fact that she's put in like, damn, like from time Whitney Rose has to be the one to tell you like, take a break from dick for a little bit. Focus on your children.
She gave her, and she couldn't even do 24
hours. Brittany, again, wacky and wonderful housewife. Could I be friends with her? Not a
No,
chance
she's
in
not a
hell.
housewife, guys. Please don't
What is
speak that
she?
into
She's a
existence.
friend.
She's a
She's a
friend
friend.
of. They
I
need to
wouldn't
get
mind
rid of
if
her.
she was, though. She's so fucking unhinged.
I feel like she could be a good friend of. She could be like a
Good friend
Marlo.
of, yeah.
Like,
Yes,
a
yes,
good
keep
woman,
her
a
there,
solid
keep
one.
her there,
Because if you give her the snowflake, it might just
she might. We don't know what
we don't know what's going on there.
I don't think she has enough to have a snow. I think different franchises.
I think she has enough.
She's got the Betty.
I don't think she has enough.
Her
Like,
daughters hate her and she's dating an Osmond.
yeah, but the thing is,
her
like,
kids,
that's
her
it,
kids
though.
not talking to her trying to still be a Mormon,
Exactly.
but is actually still sleeping with her.
Exactly.
Like she has a good storyline, but I just think it will get to
enough
her
to
head.
carry a season though. I think it's
I think it is.
enough
I
for
think
like
she has.
conversation.
I think
probably
she has a
can.
lot.
She can.
I think she has a
I think
lot.
we're just skimming the surface.
As
of
annoying
her.
as she is, she probably does have enough
Yeah.
material, like
Yeah.
from her daughters to Jared.
definitely think she
To her,
does.
she's a realtor. Who knew
exactly.
that?
Who knew
Yeah,
that?
and she sings.
Yeah,
she
I
sings.
feel like yeah, she can sing. She can sing.
She can really sing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she's into theatre.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
No.
And also,
Give
did
that
you
lady a
see
snowflake.
when she went on an interview in a swimsuit
Yes.
because they didn't call her for that?
housewife.
the housewife.
You know they had the housewife.
Like the
it was
Desperate
Us Weekly,
Housewife
like the
thing.
Desperate
Yeah,
Housewife.
yeah.
They didn't call her for that, so she went into an interview with
a swimsuit on.
So the thing
And
is,
you're telling me this is not someone that has not going to have storylines.
No, it's true, yeah. But having said that, the reason why I like Britney is the same reason why I like Stacey, why I like the kooky, delusional.
Yes.
There's no logic. You don't understand them. What the hell? Like in a bubble. They always are the most.
Yeah, I can't
They're so
stand her.
entertaining.
But
Yeah.
no,
I
but
can't stand Britney,
Some of them
sorry.
are delusional, but Britney actually is mad.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not. She's
You know what
not.
I mean?
She's not.
There's
Like
the delusional
really
ones that
like-
are like, but she is
they're so
actually
entertaining.
mad.
They're just like
Britney is scary.
Guys, she tried to record. Don't you?
Yeah,
remember
that's
that?
what I'm saying. The scene
Like,
last
but
season, I think
know
that
how
had to
funny
be
that
like
is?
one of the I think I watched that scene about
God,
5
same.
times.
Where she goes, okay, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's the only reason just to hear Bronwyn say that.
Yeah,
she was
and
just
then,
like, no,
and
what
then
I was trying to do, I
Meredith,
was filming from
Meredith
this way.
being like, you need to leave. Like, you need to leave.
Meredith was
No,
fuming,
Britney
but you
causes
don't do
chaos.
that. You do not
Meredith's
do
like,
that.
get her, Meredith.
I'm sorry, that whole scene was iconic, and you could have never told me a simple ride back with these women. They can't even just get in a fucking sprinter and go from one location to another without there being some chaos. They are the perfect cast.
They don't need to change it.
They don't need,
Yeah,
please.
they don't
They've got it.
If you
They've
hear
got
this,
it.
just- you've got to the perfect people. Britney is perfect. She's fucking unhinged.
As a friend of.
As a friend of. She couldn't stay away from a penis for one day. For
Yeah,
her
it's
daughter.
like Atlanta season 5, 6, like that
Yeah.
perfect
Yes.
cast with the friend of being Marlo,
Exactly.
being
Yeah.
Britney. Yeah,
Perfection.
Perfect.
Like, you guys have cracked the code. Please, let's leave it there. Okay, let's do maths really quickly and then we'll wrap up. I know, Tammy, you don't watch it, but you.
Yeah, no,
you see
but
the
I
clips
watch a little
though,
bit on
girl.
TikTok,
You see the
so
clips, okay,
yeah.
so we can talk about it. Okay, maths this year. Shout out to friend of Paul C. Brunson. I see you, bro. Yeah, Married at First Sight is moving entirely mad this year. What do you guys think? Do we have any favourites? Do we have any couples that we think are going to last? Like, what do we think of? We'll probably start with the chaotic ones first. So I would say the most chaotic couples are Julia Ruth and Devani.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
are those the black ones?
Yeah,
Okay,
Sarah. Yes. Yeah, Sarah and Dean.
Is that the one that doesn't?
The Scottish lady, she doesn't fancy the guy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And the thing
They've
is,
gone now, right?
yeah, in the end, the fucking experts basically had to tell them to give them their marching orders because they weren't getting it. They were going to stay on that show till Thy Kingdom Come, which lets me know, is this a clout thing? Because you've both admitted there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's been absolutely zero intimacy, bar holding hands or whatever. We're week 4 into the show and there's nothing, still no feelings. You got to go. And I've never seen that happen before where the experts are like, okay, like pack it up, wrap it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We've got to go. Like change your thing. We've got Leah and Lee, the lesbian couple.
Yeah.
They're also not a good match, I don't think. We had the whole situation with Grace and Ashley with the whole consent thing, and you know, Grace is this big feminist and all of that situation. And then we had Stephen and Nelly as well.
Is that the one that called her an idiot?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
God.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of chaos going on in Married at First Sight UK.
Sorry, any good couples?
No.
Well, we've got the
We've
new
got
one.
Bailey and Sarah.
We've got the new one.
No, Bailey and Rebecca, they're doing well.
Which is Bailey? Oh,
He's
yeah.
the mixed-race guy that lied about his height. They're doing well. She's pleasantly surprised me. I thought she was going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yes,
on that,
so
but
did
she's
I.
actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Who else is doing well on there? So we've got the new couples, but
the gay
April and
guys.
Leo. I don't even think they're going to. Oh yeah, David and
I don't think they're going to last.
Kia.
You don't
You don't think they're going to last?
No.
Really?
I don't know. I just, no.
You don't see it. Okay, well, so far they are one of the strong couples.
Yeah.
Who else is strong? And then the other new couple, I can't remember their name. Sorry, because I don't like it when they
They're,
bring new couples in.
they're really
halfway.
into each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
I've forgotten.
No, not the ones that are like the Daredevils, because I think that's going to go left. Because apparently, word on the street is that April is now with like one of the other guys.
What?
The one with the tattoos, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah,
and
so Joe and Maeve.
Yeah.
They were doing well, but we're starting to see cracks in their relationship. But I saw on TikTok, apparently she's with Joe now, the one with all the tattoos.
Really?
I don't know how true that is. That's just,
Because you be misreading
I
information.
know, I do.
Yeah, like
I
when
do.
you quit.
Really be,
I actually do.
Because I don't think they could even announce that at this point yet. Anyways, if that was true.
Yeah, it's very true because they're still like married and that, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're still marrying at first sight. Anyway, forget that tea, scrap that tea. But yeah, it's just a bit of a hot mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I feel like there's no one on there that's going to last at
Yeah,
all.
no.
No, there's
not a
no one on
single
there
soul.
that's gonna
I
last.
feel like,
at all.
I think this is the thing with these reality TV shows. They sometimes maybe need to go on a break for 2 years and then just really. But the thing is, no, what they need to do is pair people that genuinely want to find love.
Yeah.
Yes.
And pair people that genuinely are a match. Pairing someone that is an avoidant, because we've got Reese and the other lady, I forgot her name, Leisha, I think her name is. Pairing an avoidant with someone that's got like attachment issues makes no sense to me. That just you don't have to be a fucking matchmaker to know that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not seeing it for them either.
I also feel like they kind of need to do a little bit more of like restructuring, maybe even like on a safeguarding purposes, or even just as experts to really give expert opinion and advice. Because them doing a whole week of the experts not seeing or knowing what's going on and only judging you and advising you based on this one dinner and what you're telling me is happening, I just don't think it's working out, because we've time and time again, we've seen situations that it is a little bit like, hey, let's call, what's the helpline? Not NSPCA.
Frank.
Ofcom, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, getting from Ofcom, like, this is
Childline.
do you know what I mean? Like, this is what's happening here behind closed doors is abusive behavior. It's verbally or emotionally abusive, or this is dangerous, or this is like hitting the mental. And the experts are not seeing this, so they're not able to tackle this or advise. Or so I think there needs to be some form of like restructuring on the purpose of the experts. If you're going to, you can't just advise me based on the one thing that you see and what I'm telling you on the couch, because it's not actually helping the relationships. You know what I mean? It's not helping the relationships. And we see time and time again, these couples are holding back what they're telling experts. So it's just, the formula's not working. If we are using this for entertainment purposes and cool, but if we're using this as like, we really want to match people, find love, have successful relationships at the end of it, you need to tackle it, because the Dean and Nelly situation.
Sarah.
Dean
is the guy that sings. That's with the Scottish lady.
Okay, let's put them aside for a minute. Nelly and Steven situation. We've seen this before where there has been, even on the Australian, there has been like, this is a lot. It's getting dark now. And the experts are never able to pick up. And then the public are coming for the experts like, how did you not stop this? And whatever. And like with Steven, we all know it's all edited. There's so much we don't see. But the parts that we're seeing is like this could potentially be a dangerous man. Like this is a bit insane. Like his outbursts with the guys, the dinner party, the spa, in the bedroom, his outbursts are a bit too much.
It's a bit mad.
Do you know what I mean?
I hear exactly what you're saying.
And it's almost like if the cameras weren't here, how would you handle what's going on right now?
Do you feel like these dating shows, like these reality, like I think people are just there for clout now.
Same. Exactly.
I don't think they're there to genuinely find love. Like when you have shows like this, Love is Blind, like
Love Island,
like it's not.
I feel like the love is a nice addition.
Yeah.
Like, they find it. They're there for, I think entertainment is the number one thing. Yeah. Then for the contestants is clout. And then if love comes, Do you know what I mean? Because really and truly it could work, because for the earlier seasons, people were paired appropriately.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And those relationships lasted. Now, obviously, to make it more entertaining, you've got to pair opposites in order to get, these extreme reactions, all the rest of it. I do agree. I think that there's also an element of these people are grown people. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if Nelly truly feels like she's in a situation that is unsafe, she is well within her rights to walk away.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm looking at them like, and I think with Steven as well, and I'm not necessarily backing him, but I think with Steven, he's in a situation he does not like Nelly. Like, let's keep it a buck. I don't think that he would necessarily, and I really want to know if they ask him if they date outside of their race. Because I think that is a very important thing. I don't know, again, this is me purely judging on perspective, like from the outside. I don't know that he would necessarily date outside of his race. All the women that have come out and doing story times on him, they're all white women. And that's fine. He's entitled to his preference. So I think that pairing him with a non-black woman, with a non-white woman, I don't know that makes sense. I think that Steven is raging because he is unhappy. And there's only so much you can pretend and then without exploding. Do you know what I mean?
You're right about, you're right about people are grown. They can just cut out when they want to cut out as well. But you also have people who are just like, Nelly is extremely desperate to find a partner. There's some people that go in for clout or whatever. Nelly is one of these people. She's extremely desperate to find a partner. You can see it from her interview. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you put someone in who mentally is so desperate for love to work that she's obviously going to be, people like that, you're willing to take anything.
She might not see the signs as someone.
Do you know what I mean? You're not seeing the signs and you're kind of willing to, and then when you're sitting in the couch and you know what? Now that you tell me, because your granddad was in the hospital, I understand where you're coming from. Someone who is desperate for someone who is desperate for love to work out and be validated and whatever, is also going to fall back and be like, okay, I'm going to take the bullshit because the experts are like, we understand that you're going through things, because they're not seeing everything else that's going on. And that's when I feel like, yes, we are grown people, but like mentally as well, like it's just a bit much when we have seen some people in previous seasons, or Australian, they're fucking crazy, that they are mentally affected after the fact because of like, they're not being properly safeguarded, because a lot of these people are desperate for love and validation, and they will take
and clout
it.
as well. Let's not forget the clout bit.
They will take it.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. I think both things are true. I think that can they be doing more in these situations? Maybe. I think the number one thing they could probably do is not use it as entertainment. Yeah, because I feel like we see so much of toxic relationships. If I'm watching Married at First Sight, I'm assuming that these people have all got their shit together. They're mentally, they're stable in every aspect of the work to be ready for marriage. So I'm not expecting to see unhealed people with all of these like issues that you should not. shouldn't even enter a relationship, talk less of a marriage on TV. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's maybe for the production company to figure out like what is your goal when you're doing this, because we've seen enough of it. Like I don't really want to watch toxic people trying to get in relationships when they've got no business being in relationships, talk less of a marriage.
And that's most of them.
And that's most of them. But I think that, because especially, I mean, Love Island is a joke. You've got all these conventionally attractive people talking about how hard it is to meet people. I'm just like, really? Like, you know, let's just all be very honest here. Like, audiences are smart, we're savvy, we know what it is. I don't even watch any of those shows for love. Like
no, it's entertainment.
The Australian one, there was a couple that were really in love and happy, and I used to always forward it. I know that's probably me being very like toxic. Do you know what I mean? But I want to get to the drama, but not to the point where it's like, someone's calling someone a fucking idiot, and it's very it's very nasty.
But also even the experts,
too much.
Even the experts though this season, I feel like they're forcing women to like Sarah and Dean, she doesn't think he's attractive. She's sick of his singing. She's and rapping and the jokes, and like it's clear she's not gonna ever be attracted to this guy. Like, why is she being villainized for like not being attracted to him? And they kept forcing her into it. The older woman, same thing. This guy is on there.
She was ready, boy.
Yeah,
I think she was a bit too serious though.
No, but he was like, what is like? Oh, do you want to fall in love? And he's like, well, what is love? And it's like, dude, what are we doing? Like all these weird like dodging things. And it's like sometimes when they're sitting on the couch, like they need to hold people accountable a bit more, like Stephen, for example. Like it's kind of like you keep doing this thing where, I don't know, it's just very weird with the experts. Maybe they need to rejig
but this
it.
Is what I think is that you're 100%, and I think their advice is so wrong sometimes because they're not seeing what's happening. They're just taking it by a dinner and what you're saying to me. And you're right, like even with the Sarah and Dean, like, okay, she was a bit disrespectful, whatever, but you're still forcing it. But I don't even think it's a woman thing though, because they are genuinely like that. Because if you remember the other season with Polly and My Man, he didn't like Polly. He wasn't attracted to her.
Oh yeah,
Polly. And every season they were trying to push Polly and Polly Casper onto her. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think if someone is not sexually attracted to someone and it's not getting there, just encourage them to leave it out.
Yeah.
Because now what you're doing is you're making them present themselves to you like, oh, I am trying. And then it's like you have to tell them to fuck off, like this isn't gonna work. Like be honest, Sarah, you don't really like him. Well, when she was being honest, you were trying to force it on her.
And now she's trying to give it another week and you're going, it's time to go home.
But I think the issue with that is that these people sign up saying that their type has never worked out for them. So I feel like the experts see it as their duty to be like, well, the whole point of why you're marrying a stranger is that you don't know what you're gonna get, and that you're supposed to be open, and Love is Blind and stuff like that. The whole point is that you're supposed to be open to going against the grain to find someone. Do you know what I mean? So if you've come in there and you've got a rigid type, Married at First Sight is not for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because for Sarah to turn around and be like, you should lose some weight and get some tattoos, that to me is pathetic. I just think you're a grown ass woman. If your type is tattoos, like go and stand outside the jail. Do you know what I mean? Like grow up. If you want a bad man, go to a prison and stand outside there and find one there. You will find one. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they're trying to kind of move people away from that. And I think because they come on there with that mindset, like my whole thing is that I want to try this experiment because everything I've been doing has not been working out for me. So if the experts turn around and be like, oh, well, he's not your type, then go, then it defeats the whole purpose of the show. I don't think that, again, if you're someone that attraction is really important, and I'm not downplaying it because I think it is. Like,
then just say it.
I could never do a show like that because I need to be attracted to you. I'm shallow. Sorry, I don't give a damn. Like, if I don't fancy you, it's not happening. I'm not interested in just your personality and all of that stuff. I need to fancy you. So I'm not going to sign up for a show like that. But if you're more open-minded, then cool. Like someone like Grace, I actually really like Grace. Like the whole Grace and Ashley thing, and I know she was getting flogged for her feminist takes or whatever. But again, I don't think Love is Blind. No.
Married at First Sight is for you if you've got such stringent views about men and about feminism. You need to meet someone in the real world so that you can filter them out quickly, because the chances are most men are not going to have extreme feminist views. That's just the world we live in. When they spoke about it and she broke it down, I feel like theirs was a lot of miscommunication, and I think she also didn't see him. She didn't believe he was who he said he was. So I think once she met his family, he was like, okay, you know what? He's not like this toxic man or whatever. So
he's also a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, exactly. He is rich.
He's rich.
Yeah.
How does the show work? Because obviously I've never watched anything. I just watch snippets on TikTok and stuff like that. So
basically, you apply for the show, and you go through these interviews with the experts and psychologists or whatever of like your dating history, what's gone wrong, right? They ask you all these questions. And then based on that, they go through everybody and they're the ones who match you up, right? And then once they found your match, you obviously make it to show, whatever. And then for the first time you meet the person, you meet them at the altar of your wedding.
Wow.
Right? So then once you meet them, like when he turns around, when you're walking up, that's the first time you're going to meet your husband.
And you have like no implication of like...
You don't know who you're meeting, what they look like, what
yeah.
personality. Your family's there, his family there, you meet at the wedding.
You get married.
And the first time, so the wedding is your initial
First date.
get to know. It's your first date. It's your get to know. So
you.
some of them are like, oh my God, this is great. Some of them are like, I'm not really sure. And then after the wedding, you go straight, the next day, you go straight onto your honeymoon. And your honeymoon is, you know, still getting to know each other stage.
Yeah.
And then after the honeymoon, they put you straight into an apartment. So you're going straight to living
kind
together.
of like Love is Blind.
Yeah.
I think I'd prefer Love is Blind. At least I'd know like about the person a little bit before.
Before you can even say yes or no. This one, you're saying yes straight away.
And then while you still live in apartments, now you're mixing with all the other couples. You know, there's a series of challenges, whatever days, things that you need to do throughout the weeks. And then everybody gets dashed into, every week everyone gets dashed into this big dinner party where you're all in each other's business, you're all pulling each other on whatever. And that's when the experts are watching you.
Got you.
And then after the dinner party, you have the commitment ceremony where each couple, you're sitting on the couch, you're talking about what your issues are that week, and the experts advise you of what to do next. And they also advise you based on what they've seen at the thing, but they're not seeing the whole week.
Exactly.
They only had that hour or whatever.
I hope
So that's why you're
some
saying
notes or whatever, man.
So that's why you're saying when it comes to like them talking to the experts, they don't know everything because obviously they don't know what's happened in like the week, in the apartments and stuff. What you guys are seeing, are not seeing.
But I think that I hope that they're getting some
footage.
I'm hoping that they're getting
production must share
something.
something.
From what they pull up at the commitment ceremony, it's very much giving like the dinner party. And then because every now and then, like the experts will come to a challenge or whatever, and it does give that they've got no idea what's going on. But who knows? But yeah, that's basically a run through of the show.
I need to watch.
It is.
Please
It is actually
do, and then
really
come
good.
back.
Paul did say, Paul did make a video, and he did say we get this over and over again that, you know, we don't appropriately advise or whatever these couples. And he was like, but what you guys have to remember, what you guys always forget to see, we don't see what you see.
Okay,
like
so they don't.
that we always judge based on the dinner and the commitment ceremony. And that he was like reiterating that the other day actually, and he was like, and then another reason why we don't pull people up on behaviors is because we have to come with receipts. Like I have to say to you, you know, you're being this way based on receipts, and the receipts is based on what they're seeing and their behavior patterns. So which is like, yeah, cool, fair, we're not going to come for you for giving wrong advice, but then at the same time some restructuring needs to happen like
in production, because that doesn't sound fair.
It's not working.
It's
not working. And I think if it's a thing where it's just for entertainment, then cool. But I think that when these shows like this, and it kind of just highlights a lot of these talking points that are just happening on socials anyway, especially pertaining to relationships. And I think people get really invested in it because it's like, now we have the language. If you see something that's gaslighting, if you see, do you know what I mean? And it's good because it's how society moves forward. So I do think it is, you know, it's doing something. It's allowing people to like have their behaviors and stuff documented so that we can come here and talk about it. But guys, we have to wrap it up now.
We sure do.
We have to wrap it up. We've been talking for 2 hours straight, and I love that for us, and I love that for the audience because we haven't done one in so long. So yeah, that I feel like they needed the full scope of our opinions on everything that's been happening. So thank you, Tammy. You're amazing.
I've enjoyed my time.
Absolutely brilliant. You have to come back and chop it up next time.
Yeah,
please. Like, you're always welcome.
I love like anything reality. That is my bag. Like,
we
found out we really are a community of people.
Yeah.
And I always say it at the end of this of the recap. Like, it's so nice. Like, because sometimes I used to feel so stupid. I used to be like, why am I so invested in like these shows and like? But then when you see the amount of people that also love it as much as you, and you can just, it's brilliant. I love it. I love it here. So yeah, this was very therapeutic.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, like you were brilliant. You were brilliant. You're welcome back anytime, my love. So yeah, guys, thank thank you so much for listening. Make sure you keep on subscribing and watching. Let us know what you want us to talk about. I know they're actually very good at being like, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
And do you know what? I think people really do love this platform, you know. I get so many people being like, when is the next one?
Oh, really?
Like,
Yes,
so many people, they really love it. So if you're a reality TV head, people just want like a space.
I get so many, because obviously we don't talk about it on our pod as much, because obviously it's just me that watches a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I get so many DMs like, you need to, can you create a platform where you can talk about, I'm like, can't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing where you have us now. So we will continue to talk and we'll continue to bring you the tea. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching us. We hope you loved it. Please join in the conversation in the comments. Do what you need to do. I have been, just call me Audrey.
Isa Perez.
I've been Feven.
And
I've been Tammy.
Yeah.